Chapter 402. Su Yun, who was hiding in the wardrobe, saw everything clearly. Seeing that Nakamura Shunji's legs were so short that it was difficult for him to get onto the bed, he couldn't help but want to give him a kick from behind to help him get onto the bed. Nakamura Shunji, who had climbed onto the bed with great difficulty, began to frantically tear off the clothes of the two tall and hot girls. He was definitely like an animal who had not tasted women for who knows how many days. One of his rough palms lifted up the skirt of the diamond girl, while the other pulled down the bra of the G-bra girl. His hands moved up and down, and his head even bit and bit left and right as he arched his head. Under Nakamura Shunji's ferocious attack, the two women couldn't help but let out murmuring moans. F***ck. Su Yun really didn't expect that the three of them would be so unhygienic. The suite had such a big bathroom, so shouldn't they at least go there to flirt first? What was the difference between spending 50 yuan to find a small motel on the side of the road and quickly making love without taking off his clothes? If the three of them didn't go to the bathroom, then all the tricks Su Yun had thought of before would be useless. Just as Su Yun couldn't hold it in anymore and wanted to come out and kick Nakamura Shunji's crotch to send him to hell, the G-bra girl, who had been stripped down to her Chanel No. 5 from head to toe, said, "Nakamura-kun, let's go take a shower. I don't feel good like this." Nakamura Shunji's pair of despicable hands still didn't stop ravaging the two women. There was a rippling sneer on his face. Good. Go take a shower first. After you're clean, I'll take care of you two little bitches. Ha ha. The diamond girl finally managed to escape from the clutches of the devil. She retreated with a flushed face and skillfully took off her clothes. Then she followed the G-bra girl, who had taken off her clothes earlier than her, into the huge bathroom of the luxurious suite, surrounding Nakamura Shunji, who had hurriedly taken off his clothes. After the three of them moaned in the bathtub, Su Yun breathed a sigh of relief and walked out of the wardrobe. He quietly went to the door and opened it slightly. Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe, who were waiting outside, quickly walked in. The new guard in the hotel's surveillance room yawned and saw the scene. He hurriedly reported to the leader. "Two guests have sneaked into the rooms of the other three guests. Should we go over and see if there are any accidents? Among the three guests just now there are two female guests. If anything happens, I'm afraid they won't be able to handle it. Shaoli, are you really stupid or just pretending to be stupid?" The leader sighed helplessly. "You already saw the two women and one man who went in. Can't you see anything else? Don't you know what kind of people are staying here? They are all rich people who can spend thousands, or even tens of thousands of yuan a night without blinking. Do you understand the lives of rich people? Forget it. I know you're not rich, and you don't understand the world of the rich. But let me tell you, the world of the rich is beyond your imagination. What the rich do is beyond your imagination. What the rich do is beyond your imagination. What's wrong with 2 more men going in? Let me tell you, even if 100 more men go in, you don't have to be surprised. That's what they like." After listening to the leader's reprimand, the guard nodded repeatedly. The leader was indeed the leader. Everything he said was so reasonable. Now that he thought about it, it was really so reasonable. How could a commoner like him know what rich people would do? He had no money, no power, no background, and no ability. He could only be a loser for the rest of his life. This was an irreversible fact. Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe just walked into the room and heard the disgusting conversation from the bathroom. They couldn't help but want to vomit. This F***king Japanese really knew how to play. Wang Zhe scolded in a low voice. "Brother Yin, Brother Dong, why are these young girls so shameless? For some F***king materialistic desires, they can show all their cards. They don't even care about the most basic moral integrity. They are simply disgracing their ancestors. I really wonder why their ancestors didn't come out of the graveyard and give her 2 slaps." Su Yun smiled slightly. It's not easy for them either. In order to extort money from Nakamura Junji, they even gave their bodies to him. Let's not talk about them anymore. Have you prepared everything that should be prepared? Only then did Wang Zhe's face reveal a smile. Everything is ready. Brother, I really didn't expect you to be so mean. This F***king dog will definitely cry for his parents today. Give me the glue first, I'll go and do something to this bastard's underwear. Wu Yuandong couldn't help but be eager to try. When he thought about seeing this Japanese guy in pain, his heart was overjoyed. At this moment, the bathroom door suddenly opened with a click, and the G-cup girl walked out. When she saw the three people in the room, she was stunned. At the same time, the three of them were also shocked. No one expected them to come out so quickly. Fortunately, Su-yun's reaction was fast. The moment the G-cup girl was about to scream, he flashed in front of her and directly grabbed her throat, sealing the scream that was about to burst out, and closed the bathroom door. Su-yun gave Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong a look. The meaning was very clear. Wang Zhe didn't hesitate to take out the dagger he carried with him, and was about to step forward. Wu Yuandong immediately cooperated and stopped Wang Zhe when the dagger was about to pierce the G-cup girl's stomach. Su-yun took the opportunity to drag the G-cup girl, who was already scared to the point that her legs were weak, into the bedroom. Before throwing her on the bed, Su-yun only said one sentence in her ear. If you don't want to die, shut up and don't scream. When the time comes, if my brother wants to kill you, no one will be able to stop him. The G-cup girl, who was already scared silly by Wang Zhe's attack with the dagger, could only nod mechanically. Once she passed the most frightening stage, she didn't even have the strength to call for help. Su-yun pushed her onto the bed, pointed at the quilt and said, "Cover yourself." The G-cup girl heard this and pulled the quilt over her body. The layer of cold sweat on her body finally stopped, but at this time, she realized that all of this was just the beginning. Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe were still acting. Wu Yuandong pushed Wang Zhe against the wall and said in a low voice, "Are you crazy? You'll kill that woman like that." "So what if I kill her? She's just a chicken." Wang Zhe didn't show any signs of weakness. After saying that, he glanced at the bed with a vicious gaze. The G-cup girl's gaze just happened to meet Wang Zhe's eyes. Instantly, all the hair on her body was pulled out. That kind of feeling was really creepy. Su-yun waved his hand at the two of them. "You want the people inside to hear, right? Our goal is Nakamura Junji. As long as she is willing to cooperate, we don't have to do anything to her. Even if you're an assassin, you have to have professionalism and professional ethics. Xiao Luo, if you can't control yourself, you really don't deserve to be a professional assassin." Wang Zhe's nickname in the underground world was Big Blade Rakshasa, so Su-yun casually gave him the name Xiao Luo. Wang Zhe resisted the urge to laugh in his heart and said with a straight face, "Brother Long, what's the difference between killing this woman and killing a chicken? Do you have to make such a fuss? Didn't you tell me before that as long as it's someone who hinders us, we must kill them quickly?" "That's right, I did say that," Su-yun said and looked at the G-cup girl. "But she didn't say that she would hinder us?" The G-cup girl trembled under the urge to win. I definitely won't hinder you. What you do has nothing to do with me. I beg you to let me go. I'll give you whatever you want. I beg you, don't hurt me. I'm not familiar with Nakamura Junji. I beg you, don't hurt me." "Not familiar? Then you went to a hotel with him?" Wu Yuandong sneered and said to Wang Zhe, "If I knew that this woman's mouth was so dishonest, I wouldn't have stopped you just now. I'm really not familiar with him. I came with my friend. She said that this Nakamura Junji is rich. I'm just a peripheral woman. I beg you, don't hurt me." The G-cup girl's tears were about to fall. She was really scared. She had been in the upper class for so many years, but this was the first time she met a killer. Extras. These wild and dirty models with glamorous titles, beautiful faces and hot figures, compared to the official models, were far inferior in all aspects. They couldn't even walk in the fashion shows of big brands, so at most, they could only post selfies on Weibo to get attention. Then they would accompany people to eat, play, and sleep, attend parties with heavy tastes, and even accompany people who did drugs to make money. But these peripheral women had a lot of customers. The reason was very simple. In Huaxia, there were too many nouveau riche who took advantage of the loopholes in the policies or the loopholes in the forms. There were also too many small government officials and rich second generations who relied on the power of their elders. They all had a common hobby, which was to patronize these peripheral women. "If you don't want to die, don't ruin our business. and we won't do anything to you. Su-yin smiled slightly. It's actually very simple. You just have to pretend that nothing happened. But if you kill someone here, I can't get away with it. The G-Cup girl's brain was still quite clear. Su-yin gave Wang Zhe a look, and Wang Zhe immediately handed over a tampered adult condom. The brand had to be Durex. There was no doubt about that. Didn't rich people use this brand? Only this brand could make them look high-end and classy. Use this on him, and I guarantee that he will leave the hotel immediately. Su-yin, at that time we don't need to do anything in the hotel, and this matter will have nothing to do with you. Really? The G-Cup girl's heart surged. You really won't kill me? You'll let me have nothing to do with this matter? Thank you, bro. I'll do whatever you want. I'll sleep with you, play with you, do whatever you want. You won't go back on your word, right? Su-yin frowned. Of course I won't go back on my word, but I hate it when people don't trust me. The G-Cup girl immediately shut her mouth. She took the tampered adult condom from Wang Zhe's hands, but she couldn't figure out what was so special about it. It could make Junji Nakamura leave the hotel immediately. Chapter 403. The G-Cup girl knew that the people in the wardrobe and behind the corner cupboard were watching them at all times, and that the people under the bed could kill her at any time, so she performed very well. When Junji Nakamura and the Diamond Girl came out of the room in each other's arms, the G-Cup girl made a very seductive S-shaped pose on the bed. Junji Nakamura laughed loudly. I really have to thank Wuda tomorrow. A capable agent like him has a lot of goods under him. You guys are lucky to have such a good agent. 1 day of service, 120,000 yuan. It's really not expensive at all. Ha ha ha. It's not even as expensive as a bottle of red wine. This was already considered a very high price for a peripheral girl. The Diamond Girl and G-Cup Girl had only been introduced to Junji Nakamura by their manager, Wuda, who had brought them into the industry. In the past, the price for these two girls was at most 10,000 yuan a day, but Junji Nakamura could offer a double bag of 120,000 yuan. That meant that each of them would get 60,000 yuan. After deducting 50% from Wuda, they would still get 30,000 yuan. As long as they met a customer for the first time, if they could pull the customer out to make money with their own ability, then all the money they earned after that would belong to them. Therefore, after the first introduction, the agent asked for a very, very high commission. Whether they could keep in touch with the customers in the future depended on how well they did their job. Because the customers that peripheral girls met were very rich or nouveau riche, their tastes often changed. Therefore, if they wanted to get special attention from them, they had to do everything they could. Otherwise, they could not afford to buy classic or limited edition luxury items from time to time. Perhaps seeing the G-Cup girl working so hard, the Diamond Girl did not show any weakness. She immediately got on the bed and put on a coquettish look, trying to compete with the G-Cup girl for attention. Whoever performed better might mean that they could have one more bag than the other. This was very, very important in the world of peripheral girls. Although peripheral girls did not even care about their dignity and face, they still wanted to save face. Did it not sound ridiculous? Seeing the two beauties enjoying him so much, Shunji Nakamura was in high spirits. He directly pounced on the bed and nibbled on the two like a wolf or a tiger. Only when the two of them were crying out in pain did Shunji Nakamura bring up the main topic with satisfaction. The G-Cup girl took a deep breath and passed the Durex to Shunji Nakamura. Nakamura-kun, let me help you wear it. This is an ultra-thin and long-lasting type. I prepared it especially for you. It seems like the whole world uses Durex, but not me. I'm using Japan's own brand, Okamoto. Have you heard of it? I like it even more. Junji Nakamura seemed to be very patriotic, but after searching for a long time, he realized that he didn't bring his favorite Okamoto, so he could only helplessly give up. The G-Cup girl finally let out a sigh of relief. If Junji Nakamura found it and insisted on using it, then she really didn't know how to convince him to listen to her and use the Durex in her hands. Thank the heavens! Just as the G-Cup girl was thanking her, Diamond Girl snatched the Durex from her hands and said politely to Shunji Nakamura, Nakamura-kun, let me serve you. If it was any other time, the G-Cup girl would definitely not let her sister steal her limelight, But it was different this time. She knew very well that this thing was given to her by the three killers, so there must be something wrong. Now that her sister was fighting with her to do this thing, she really let out a big sigh of relief. Just as Diamond Girl was wondering why the G-Cup girl didn't come over to fight with her, Shunji Nakamura actually slapped Diamond Girl hard in the face. Diamond Girl was stunned, but Shunji Nakamura had no intention of stopping. He raised his leg and kicked Diamond Girl off the bed. "Baka, are you trying to kill me?" Shunji Nakamura covered his lower body and knelt on the bed angrily. His expression was pained, and large beads of sweat seeped out of his forehead. "What the hell did you give me?" The adult condom had been soaked in chili water by Wang Zhe with a syringe, so the effect was naturally strong and powerful. It was not something a human could withstand. Diamond Girl's knees were bruised from the fall. She waved her hands with a fearful and uneasy expression. "Nakamura-kun, this has nothing to do with me. This was given to me by her. It's hers. I don't know anything. What the hell is going on?" Seeing this, the G-Cup girl also denied it more cleanly than anyone else. "You were the one who wanted to serve Nakamura-kun. What does it have to do with me? My thing is definitely fine. Who knows if you did something to it? Don't throw dirty water at me." Shunji Nakamura glared fiercely at the G-Cup girl and slapped her as well. The G-Cup girl was also hit until she saw stars. "You two B***cheese better remember this. If something happens to me, I won't let either of you off. Get dressed now and take me to the hospital." The three of them started to get dressed in a hurry. Su Yun, who was in the wardrobe, almost couldn't help but laugh out loud. The taste of the chili water was definitely enough to make Shunji Nakamura suffer, but Wu Yuandong had already put instant superglue on Shunji Nakamura's pants. Wouldn't that make him go crazy? Sure enough, when Shunji Nakamura put on his pants and took a step, the pain of his balls being ripped apart made his entire scalp feel like someone had ripped it open. It hurt, it really hurt. The pain was indescribable with words. Shunji Nakamura's pants were now completely glued together by the superglue, and he couldn't even take a step forward. "Ah dash! I'm going to kill you!" Shunji Nakamura roared angrily. Who the hell did this? The two women didn't dare to offend Shunji Nakamura. Seeing that he couldn't even walk, they could only quickly carry him up. The G-Cup girl walked out while quickly dialing the hospital's emergency number. As long as Shunji Nakamura got on the ambulance, she would have nothing to do with him anymore. Whether he lived or died would have nothing to do with her. Looking at Shunji Nakamura's miserable appearance, Suyun really didn't know what to say. After waiting for the room to be empty, Suyun, Wang Zhe, and Wu Yuandong quickly closed the door and left the scene. At this time, the new staff on duty in the monitoring room had already fallen asleep. Since the leader had said that no one would dare to cause trouble in their hotel, why should he stay up all night? After Su Yin and the others returned to the room, they burst into laughter. When they thought of Shunji Nakamura's miserable appearance with his lower body glued to his thighs, they couldn't control the uncontrollable joy in their hearts. That grandson probably wouldn't dare to touch a Huaxia woman for the rest of his life, right? Haha. Wang Zhe laughed the happiest. The chili water he found was the spiciest kind sold in the supermarket. Shunji Nakamura was probably the first man in the world to experience the burning sensation, right? After messing with Shunji Nakamura, Suyin finally breathed a sigh of relief. If it weren't for Sky Entertainment Group and his own troubles here, he definitely wouldn't have let Darong Electronics go, and definitely wouldn't have let Shunji Nakamura off so easily. But now wasn't the time to play with them, so he first played a small prank on him. This small prank was probably enough for Shunji Nakamura to undergo a major surgery, right? Fortunately, this was Xinjiang, and there shouldn't be a shortage of big hospitals that could perform this kind of major surgery. But then again, his entire lower body was glued. Even if it was a famous doctor in a big hospital, it was probably the first time he encountered such a thing, right? Suyin originally wanted to ask Fengying if Swameyan had finished dealing with the matter, but after thinking about it, he decided against it. Because with Swameyan's personality, if she finished dealing with the matter, she would definitely come looking for him first. It's getting late, let's all go to bed. Who knows what we'll have to deal with tomorrow? Suyin smiled and said, "Fortunately, I had the help of my brothers today. I'm not the kind of person who is good at pleasantries. You all know that. Thank you very much. Brother, this isn't pleasantries? Wu Yuandong waved his hand and said, don't be so polite with me. I'm not used to that. Wang Zhe also said, even Donggu isn't used to it. Do you think I, as a younger brother, can get used to it? Brother Yin, good night. By the way, if Boss Wu comes looking for you at night, keep your voice down. F***CK. What kind of international joke is this? But after hearing Wang Zhe's words, Suyin really had some doubts. It wasn't impossible for Zhuo Meiyan to come looking for him at night. God, I really hope you can open your eyes and not let Zhuo Meiyan do such a trivial thing. After all, they were a man and a woman alone in the middle of the night. If they really got together, it would be hard to explain. God seemed to have not heard Su Yun's request at all. Sure enough, just as Su Yun was about to go to bed after taking a cold shower, knock on the door. However, he heard the sound of knocking on the door. Su Yun was slightly startled. He looked at the door and asked, who is it? It's me. Sure enough, it's Zhuo Meiyan. Su Yun took a deep breath. What he was afraid of really happened. It's so late. If there's anything, let's talk about it tomorrow. Do you really want me to kick the door open? Zhuo Meiyan didn't have the slightest intention of being polite. Don't be so wishy-washy. Are you a man or not? Are you afraid that I'll go in and eat you? What's there to be afraid of? I really admire you. Su Yun couldn't stand a woman trying to provoke him like this. He walked over and opened the door. Even if I have to eat you, I'll be the one eating you. Zhuo Meiyan walked in confidently. She raised her foot and pushed the door shut. Without any hesitation, she directly threw herself into Su Yun's arms like a newlywed couple. Needless to say, they were so intimate. Su Yun's face turned red. He couldn't help but say to himself, fine, I still think you can eat me. Io, women your age are already so ferocious. Why is your mouth so cheap? I wanted to thank you. Zhuo Meiyan glared at Su Yun fiercely. She pushed Su Yun onto the bed. Tell me, why did you suddenly come to save me? If I didn't come to save you, would you still be able to support Sky Entertainment? Su Yun asked back. Chapter 404. Zhuo Meiyan was very angry when she talked about it. I didn't think Guo Chuanjiang would do something so despicable. He even dared to use Zhang Taisui's biggest wish as a joke. He just didn't expect you to show up at this time. It seems that everything is God's will. Su Yun could tell that Zhuo Meiyan was mentally and physically exhausted. She had probably spent the entire day discussing with the people in the company how to deal with this matter urgently. Even if Guo Chuanjiang had colluded with someone to put her in her place, she had to think of a way to protect her. Otherwise, all kinds of unexpected events could happen. How about it? Have you thought of a way to deal with it? Su Yun said calmly, stabilize the situation. Take it slow. I've already arranged for people to think of a way. No matter what the other party wants, as long as it's not a ridiculous request, I'll try my best to agree to it. Zhuo Meiyan said, Sky Entertainment Group has already spent the maximum budget on this matter. If it exceeds this budget, I don't know if I can take it. Su Yun smiled but didn't say anything. The Qingdao Film and Television Plaza was Zhang Taisui's greatest wish. Zhuo Meiyan would definitely provide a large sum of money for this matter. The highest budget would probably be a large sum of money. It seemed that Zhuo Meiyan was running out of patience. If they really go too far and cross my bottom line, I don't know what I'll do, Zhuo Meiyan said. Even if Zhang Taisui said to try not to use extreme methods, I'm afraid I can't care that much. Su Yun, since you're back to take over Sky Entertainment Group, give me an idea. Su Yun thought about it and shrugged. There's always a way out. Even God can't starve blind sparrows, let alone us. There's always a way. Don't be so anxious. It's not worth it to hurt your body. You've been tired all day. Rest early. My arms are sore after a whole day of emergency video conferences. Can you give me a massage? Zhuo Meiyan's tone was a little coquettish. As she spoke, she was already lying on Su Yun's bed. Don't tell me you don't know how to do it. When old master was still alive, he told me that you massaged him before you could remember, and it was very comfortable. Su Yun smiled helplessly as he looked at Zhuo Meiyan, who was dressed in a business suit, lying on his bed and asking for a massage. Who was she trying to charm? She was basically forcing him to make a mistake. Sigh, since ancient times, a single man and a single woman were the same as dry firewood and blazing fire. Zuomeyan definitely understood such a simple logic. Hurry up, you weren't so hesitant in the past. Zuomeyan rolled her eyes at Suyin impatiently. How am I supposed to massage you when you're dressed like this? Suyin wanted to find an excuse. He was afraid that once he started, he wouldn't be able to stop. After all, he had just seen a live porn scene in Nakamura Junji's room. Now a goddess-like girl like Zuomeyan was lying on his bed. What a huge challenge this was. Zuomeyan was absolutely delighted. She got up and was about to unbutton her clothes. As she unbuttoned, she said deliberately, "Humph, I knew you wouldn't give me a massage for free. You just want to take advantage of this opportunity to take advantage of me. Fine, I promise you I'll take off my clothes. This way you won't have any complaints, right? Such a big beauty is at your mercy. What else do you want? Do you know how many men want to kneel under my pomegranate dress? I won't even look at them." Suyin quickly grabbed Zuomeyan's hand to stop her. Suyin knew her too well. She really dared to take off her clothes in front of him. When he saved her that time, she said she would repay him with her body. She really wanted to crawl into Suyun's bed. Fine, I'll listen to you. I'll massage. But at least let me focus. If you take off your clothes, how can I still have the heart to massage? Suyun smiled bitterly and said, I'm really scared of you. Where does it feel uncomfortable? Tell me, as long as it's not the inside of your thigh, it's easy. But if it's the inside of my thigh that feels uncomfortable? Zuomeyan was definitely a different person in front of Suyun than in front of other people. Her words were direct and hot. She didn't beat around the bush at all. Her words forced Suyun to have nowhere to run. Suyun pointed at the door. You should know that Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe live there. They are both experts. Do you think they won't hear us if we make any noise in this room? You're the CEO of Sky Entertainment Group. You should pay attention to your image. Zuomeyan looked back and smiled charmingly. You're the CEO now. I don't need to pay attention to my image. Then I'll pay attention. Fine, I admit defeat. Don't torture me anymore. Suyin admitted defeat. Zuomeyan found a comfortable position and moved her shoulders. These two places hurt a lot. When you start, be gentler. Don't use so much force. I won't be able to take it. If someone who didn't know what was going on inside heard this, they would definitely have a nosebleed. Coincidentally, at this time, Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong couldn't take it anymore. They walked out of the room to eavesdrop. When Zuomeyan knocked on Suyun's door, they both heard who it was. The two of them smiled at each other and glanced at each other. They didn't need to say anything to understand each other. Just as they were leaning against the door, they heard Zuomeyan's words. Their blood surged as they admired Suyun from the bottom of their hearts. Suyun didn't dare to say anything. He was afraid of stirring up another topic with Zuomeyan, so he obediently massaged her. Zuomeyan did all this for him, so Suyun should compensate her. Zuomeyan had a lot of requests. Slow down. I told you to be gentle. Why is your right hand so strong? Slow down. It hurts down there. Of course, Zuomeyan was referring to the area below her shoulders. But the people outside wouldn't understand it that way. These words simply stunned Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong at the door. I'll get used to it slowly. Just use a little more force. Zuomeyan was enjoying it. She didn't notice that her words were too obvious. It's so comfortable like this. How is it? Is it comfortable now? Do you need more force? Suyun obediently massaged her, but the two eavesdropping outside didn't understand his words. They admired him so much that they wanted to kneel down and kowtow 9 times to him. Zuomeyan didn't hold back. Do it a little longer. Okay, we'll do as you say today. 1.5 hours without any rest. That should be fine, right? Suyun sighed, lamenting his sad little life. After listening to Suyun's words, Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong really wanted to find a hole to hide in. They were both men. Look at him. 1.5 hours. This was the first person to bring the spirit of China's men's football team to the bedside. It seemed that there was no point in listening to it anymore. They were only left with self-shame. The two exchanged glances and went back to their rooms to reflect. Massage was definitely a skill. If it was someone who knew how to massage, they could really unblock the meridians and restore the spirit of the person. If it was someone who didn't know how to massage randomly, they might even cause problems. Su-yin could serve Zhuo Meiyan so comfortably. It definitely proved that he was experienced in massage and had a very accurate sense of acupoints. After 90 minutes of soothing massage, Su-yun's fingers were weak. Zhuo Meiyan playfully stuck out her tongue and shrugged her shoulders. It's so comfortable. How should I thank you? How about giving yourself to me? When you thank me, can't you come up with something new? Su-yun smiled bitterly. You give yourself to me every time. It's hard for me to return the favor. You've never accepted my gratitude before. If you accept it, I'll definitely come up with something new next time. Zhuo Meiyan glared at Su-yin. Don't be so ungrateful. Even if you don't come up with anything new, can't you give me such a valuable gift every time? Knock knock. 2 soft knocks on the door. Su-yin. The 2 people in the room were stunned. This voice was too easy to recognize. Other than Ling Jiling, who else could have such a moving voice? Zhuo Meiyan was a little nervous. She hurriedly tidied her clothes. Why was Ling Jiling here at this time? Su-yin answered and quickly got up to open the door. Sister Jiling, don't tell me you're so late? After Su-yin opened the door, he seemed to be very friendly. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. Moreover, he had experienced a life and death separation. When he saw any familiar face again, he felt especially close. Ling Jiling also seemed very relaxed and happy when she saw Su-yin. I'm so happy to see you. Jiling, you're here. At this moment, Zhuo Meiyan also smiled slightly and appeared behind Su-yin. Ah, Ling Jiling was stunned. It was already so late. She didn't expect Zhuo Meiyan to still be in Su-yun's room. This made her a little confused. Due to her many identities and face, Ling Jiling didn't want Zhuo Meiyan to think that she was too close to Su-yin, so she felt a little awkward. Come in and talk. Su-yin didn't have any ulterior motives. Therefore, he didn't feel embarrassed or awkward at all. If Zhuo Meiyan wasn't here, Ling Jiling would definitely accept the invitation. Even though it was already late, she definitely wouldn't. It's okay. I just called you after I arrived and found that your phone was turned off, so I came over to take a look. Hee hee, it's already so late. You guys should rest early. Jiling, you're wrong. Zhuo Meiyan also walked out of the room. I'm not going to rest with him. I just want to talk to him about something. It's getting late. I should go. I still have to wake up early tomorrow. Everyone should rest early. Su-yin heaved a sigh of relief. Then I won't keep you guys. I'm really a little sleepy. If there's anything else, we can talk tomorrow. Chapter 405. Early in the morning, Wang Zhe knocked on Su-yun's door to wake her up for breakfast. From the start, Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong kept calling her idol Yin. Su-yin wondered if the 2 of them had taken the wrong medicine. It was as if she had just returned from doing something earth-shattering on the moon. Brother, you are definitely the first idol in my heart. Really, I mean it. Although I, Wang Zhe, haven't done anything in my life, I have seen a lot of awesome people. But you are the first person who has convinced me so wholeheartedly. In the breakfast buffet hall, Wang Zhe sighed as he ate. Wu Yuandong absolutely agreed. Me too. The person I admire the most in my life is you, Brother Yin. You will be our idol in the future. Idol Yin, what else do you want to eat? Tell me and I will get it for you immediately. After this is over, I will definitely worship you as my teacher and learn from you the super skills that only Huaxia's men's football team can have. What super skills could Huaxia's men's football team have? They can have super skills, but they can't even get into the World Cup. Huaxia accounts for 1/6 of the world's population, but the men's football team can't even get into the top 100. Just now I felt that something was wrong with the 2 of you. Did you 2 drink too much last night? Su-yin said while eating porridge. What super skills could the men's football team have? What super skills could the men's football team have that you don't know? Wang Zhe clicked his tongue. Not shooting for 90 minutes. Other than Huaxia's men's football team, which other country's men's football team can do it? Brother, don't be modest. We all heard what you did yesterday. We admire you from the bottom of our hearts. We admire you so much that we want to prostrate ourselves before you. Soo-yun suddenly realized. Damn, don't put a hat on me and don't make wild guesses. It's not as dirty as you think. Yes, of course it's not dirty. What's dirty about it? What are you talking about? Wu Yuandong said. We are all men, all adults, hee. Wang Zhe nodded. Yes, what's dirty about it? It's human nature to eat and lust. It's not dirty at all. Soo-yun finally understood what it meant when yellow mud fell into the crotch of one's pants. There was no way he could explain it clearly. Since that's the case, let them think whatever they want. The two of them chatted animatedly as they ate. It wasn't until Zhuo Meiyan and Feng Ying appeared that the two of them didn't dare to mention what happened last night. After Zhuo Meiyan saw Soo-yun, she was still not at all restrained. Dear, you made me feel so good last night. I slept very well last night. Soo-yun was stunned. Wang Zhe turned around and spat out a mouthful of rice. How much patience did Wu Yuandong have to endure it? Even Feng Ying, who was beside Zhuo Meiyan, was stunned. She stared at Zhuo Meiyan with wide eyes. He didn't even try to cover up his words. Even if it doesn't matter between the two of you, shouldn't you consider the feelings of others? Zhuo Meiyan seemed to realize that she was a little careless with her words. Her face turned slightly red, but she quickly recovered. She glared at Wang Zhe. Don't let your imagination run wild. I'm telling you, I haven't settled the matter of you bringing Soo-yun here without my permission. Don't make me angry. Wang Zhe nodded. I swear I'm not imagining things. President Zhuo, Brother Yun, Secretary Feng, Donggu, I'm done eating. I'll go back first. President Zhuo, if there's anything you need, just call me. I'm done eating too. Wu Yuandong stood up as well. I'll go with you. Seeing the two of them leave quickly, Zhuo Meiyan snorted. You men are really bad. You always think in that direction. I really have to hand it to you. Feng Ying couldn't hold it in anymore. Meiyan, can you listen to me for a moment? Yes. Zhuo Meiyan nodded. It's not because they're men. Even I want to know what you meant by that. Feng Ying looked at Zhuo Meiyan helplessly. What you said just now was a little too explicit. What did you two do last night? Soo-yun wanted to cry. Sister Feng Ying, I swear, I just gave her a shoulder massage. I didn't even touch her waist. Feng Ying didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was just a massage, but Zhuo Meiyan's words were too misleading. Just a massage. Your willpower is really high. Zhuo Meiyan glared at Soo-yun. Who told you not to touch it? It's not like I didn't let you touch it. You were the one who pretended to be a ninja. If you knew you'd be misunderstood, you might as well do it for real. At this time, Ling Zhiling also came to the dining room for breakfast. Feng Ying waved at her, and Ling Zhiling walked over with a smile. After she sat down, Zhuo Meiyan put a peeled egg in Ling Zhiling's plate. Zhiling, I'm counting on you to help me expose Guo Chuanjiang's lies today. Eat more. You've lost weight recently. Are you going to lose weight for the new movie? Ling Zhiling was flattered. Thank you for your concern, President Zhuo. But the expression on her face was indescribably strange. Soo-yun wanted to ask her what was wrong, but when he heard Zhuo Meiyan's words, he really thought Ling Zhiling was going to lose weight for the movie. Sister Zhiling, with your figure, any beautiful woman would be so embarrassed that she would want to jump off a building. You don't need to lose weight at all. In front of President Zhuo and Sister Feng Ying, it was a far cry. Ling Zhiling smiled faintly. Feng Ying waved her hand. I can't take that. I'm sitting between two beautiful women. The pressure is too great. I love hearing that. Zhuo Meiyan didn't hide her happy expression at all. After breakfast, everyone returned to their rooms to prepare. Although the board meeting would only begin at 10 o'clock, it was clear that everyone would arrive early today. Everyone wanted to hear what Ling Zhiling had to say. Was this young man named Soo-yun a puppet that Zhuo Meiyan and Feng Ying had found, or was Guo Chuanjiang refusing to admit it for the sake of the shares? This became the highlight of the meeting. When Zhuo Meiyan and Soo-yun arrived at the meeting room at 9:30, most of the higher-ups had already taken their seats. This was something that had never happened in the past 2 days. It was the first time these people had been so enthusiastic. They all looked at Su Yin without hiding their gazes. About 5 minutes later, Guo Chuanjiang, Qin Tianjian, and Zhou Buqing also arrived. This time, the three of them didn't come in separately. Instead, they walked into the meeting room with smiles on their faces and greeted everyone present. Zhou Buqing walked to Su Yin with a smile. Ha ha ha, Mr. Su, did you think the wine yesterday was too inferior? Although the wine bar has better wine than this, if you want to drink it, you have to make a reservation in advance. Otherwise, they won't prepare it for you. That was the best wine I could treat you to yesterday. If you don't mind, I've already told them to open a bottle of wine from my private collection. Are you interested in tasting it together? Su Yin smiled. Thank you, Mr. Zhou, for your kindness. But I'm just a bore. I don't know how to appreciate wine. I'm afraid it would be a waste to drink such good wine. I'd rather drink some beer. Facing Su Yin's sarcasm, Zhou Buqing surprisingly didn't glare at him. He still smiled like a flower. Ha ha ha, Mr. Su, you're young and promising. You're also the successor of Sky Entertainment Group. Of course, you deserve to drink good wine. Only losers on the big stage of life would drink beer. Ha ha ha, it's not because it's better to drink beer. It's because it's only a few yuan. Even if you drink 10 bottles, it won't cost you 100 yuan, right? Ha ha ha. So arrogant. Zhou Meiyan didn't understand why they were so arrogant. Could it be that Guo Chuanjiang still hadn't told them the truth? Once Lin Jiling exposed Guo Chuanjiang's lie, they would become the losers that everyone would condemn. Guo Chuanjiang's confident gaze suddenly turned to Zhou Meiyan. Zhou Meiyan felt a trace of doubt in her heart. She started to feel uneasy because Ling Jiling's arrival in Xinjiang gave her a strange feeling. Could it be that they had made some kind of deal? Thinking of this, Zhou Meiyan couldn't help but feel shocked. Anything was possible in this world. It was hard to say whether Ling Jiling wouldn't be bought over by money or fame. Su Yin. Zhou Meiyan whispered her doubts to Su Yin. I have some doubts. After listening to Zhou Meiyan's words, Su Yin admitted that his heart was a bit shaken. But later he let it go. Although he hadn't known Ling Jiling for long, their friendship was great. At least, they had gone through the Suzhou incident together. Su Yin believed that a friendship formed under such circumstances could withstand the test. Don't worry, I don't think Sister Jiling is that kind of person. Su Yin also whispered. Maybe they did look for her, but I don't think she would do that. Even though Su Yin said so, Zhou Meiyan still couldn't be 100% sure that Ling Jiling wasn't disloyal. Her relationship with Ling Jiling was that of a boss and an artist. Obviously, she didn't think this kind of relationship was reliable. But now that things had come to this, they could only take a gamble. If Ling Jiling could maintain her integrity, Zhou Meiyan would absolutely guarantee that she would tailor-make the best packaging and promotion for her in the coming year, allowing her to directly enter the international film industry. Soon, the time was up, and everyone had arrived. At this time, Ling Jiling appeared in front of everyone under Feng Ying's lead. Hello, leaders. Ling Jiling bowed slightly. Every executive here was someone who couldn't be underestimated. Maybe they were just passers-by in the general public, but in a gathering of the upper class, every one of them was quite prominent. Although it wasn't the first time that the men present had seen Ling Jiling, they were still amazed by her beauty every time they saw her. How could there be such an attractive woman in the world? She was really a stunner, a stunner. Jiling, you know why I asked you to come today? Zhou Meiyan said indifferently. You also know Su Yin. Why don't you tell us, did Guo Chuanjiang see him in my office? Ling Jiling looked at Zhou Meiyan, then at Su Yin, and then at Guo Chuanjiang. Her expression was very serious. After taking a deep breath, she said calmly, No. Chapter 406. Su Yin admitted that he found it hard to believe that Ling Jiling was lying. At the very least, he couldn't accept it emotionally. After all, they were friends who had gone through life and death together. Even if it wasn't a great friendship or a bosom friend, at least it was better than meeting by chance. At the very least, they were friends. Even if she didn't want to help, she shouldn't have kicked them when they were down. Zhou Meiyan's reaction was huge. She stood up, trembling. Anger rose from the bottom of her heart. Zhou Meiyan was dazzled by the anger. Although she was usually a little harsh on some matters, She really couldn't believe that Ling Jiling would do something so heartless. This made Zhuo Meiyan feel an indescribable bitterness in her heart. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Ling Jiling at this moment. Guo Chuanjiang's face showed a faint smile. If one didn't look carefully, one wouldn't be able to see that the corners of his mouth were slightly raised. Zhou Buoqing's eyes were full of praise as he looked at Ling Jiling. He almost wanted to take the lead and applaud. The only one who didn't move was Qin Tianjian. Although everything was very beneficial to them now, he still sat quietly and observed the changes. There were always changes in everything. This was why many people said that plans couldn't keep up with changes. Boss Gua and Mr. Su had never met before. Zhuo Meiyan's expression was natural. Mr. Su and I are quite fated. Boss Zhuo arranged for me to go to Swang with him to shoot an advertisement. Mr. Su is a rare talent. Boss Zhuo really has a good eye for finding such an excellent newcomer for Sky Entertainment Group. Feng Ying realized that this was the first time something like this happened to Sky Entertainment Group after Zhang Taisui's death. Zhuo Meiyan's temper wasn't good. Feng Ying was worried that she would attack. Although Zhuo Meiyan didn't practice ancient martial arts since she was young, she was taught by Zhang Taisui. Zhuo Meiyan was indeed a little emotional. She sneered at Ling Jiling. Is that so? Miss Ling, if I really had a good eye, I wouldn't have let you stand here and spout nonsense. I can only blame myself for trusting you too much. I can only blame myself for trusting Su Yin too much. Miss Ling, I really didn't expect you to do this. At this moment, Su Yin suddenly clapped his hands and said loudly, Good. Good. All right. Everyone was stunned. Zhuo Meiyan looked at Su Yin worriedly, only to see that Su Yin was smiling brightly. I really admire Sister Jiling's acting skills. Similar, too similar. Su Yin gave her a thumbs up and said, Whether it's your expression or your demeanor, whether it's your body or your language, you have already deceived all of us. Ha ha ha, Sister Jiling, you are indeed my idol. When I have time, I must learn how to perform from you. Su Yun's words made everyone confused. For a moment, everyone at the scene didn't know what was going on. Ling Jiling's expression suddenly relaxed. She covered her mouth and giggled. I'm sorry, leaders. I just wanted to show off just now and let the new leader of Sky Entertainment take a good look at me and see if I'm qualified to sign the contract. Zhuo Meiyan was convinced. She was truly flabbergasted. Was this an act? At a time like this, she could still make a joke. Qiling, you almost scared me to death just now. If you do this again in the future, we will no longer be sisters in private. Director Zhuo, I just wanted to liven up the atmosphere. Hee, I know you are a magnanimous person and will never be angry with me. Ling Jiling said playfully. Even though Zhuo Meiyan was a woman, it was still difficult for her to withstand Ling Jiling's playful and slightly coquettish tone. The other males present all felt their hearts itch. They really wanted Ling Jiling to act coquettishly in front of them. Guo Chuanjiang's face instantly turned the color of roasted meat in soy sauce. This Ling Jiling dared to trick them. They had an agreement last night, but now she changed her mind. She did not care about sincerity at all. Guo Chuanjiang, who was still planning and confident just now, suddenly became dispirited. Zhuo Meiyan seized the opportunity to strike while the iron was hot. Then do you think Guo Chuanjiang saw Su Yin in my office? Of course I was there at that time. Ling Jiling smiled slightly. Director Guo, don't tell me you have forgotten what the Crown Prince looks like? I remember that I was the one who introduced the two of you to each other. Everyone's gaze landed on Guo Chuanjiang's face. If looks could kill, Guo Chuanjiang's head would have been pierced into a sieve. Zhou Buoqing was furious. He was so angry that he could not control his emotions. Ling Jiling, what do you mean? You promised last night. Director Zhou, don't be so agitated. Drink some water, drink some water. Miss Ling is just showing off her acting expertise. You don't have to be so agitated. Qin Tianjian immediately stopped Zhou Buoqing from continuing. He definitely could not admit that they had seen Ling Jiling last night and threatened her. Once everyone knew, they would face even greater isolation. Qin Tianjian had been observing the situation, so that he could keep a clear head at all times. At this time, it was very important to choose a side. If he chose the wrong side, it could mean that he would lose everything in the future. Although he didn't want to help the idiot Zhou Boqing, he needed someone to help him kick Guo Chuanjiang off the boat. This was because he couldn't kick both Guo Chuanjiang and Zhou Boqing off the boat at the same time. If he did that, he would also fall off the boat. Zhou Boqing understood from Qin Tianjian's eyes. He was telling him to calm down. At this time, if he said the wrong thing or stood in the wrong position, it would mean a reversal of the situation. Although Zhou Boqing was usually carefree, he still trusted Qin Tianjian very much when it came to serious matters. He knew that among the few of them, Qin Tianjian's brain was the best. Director Guo, you are not being kind. Qin Tianjian narrowed his small eyes. Yesterday, you swore that you had never seen Mr. Su Yun. Why is Miss Ling different from what you said today? How can we believe you? After Qin Tianjian opened his mouth, Zhou Boqing suddenly realized that only by throwing Guo Chuanjiang out of the water could they save their own skin. Following Qin Tianjian, he questioned Guo Chuanjiang, Lao Guo, I have trusted you as a brother for so many years. How dare you lie to me? Don't you know the first rule of Sky Entertainment Group? That is integrity. Zhang Taisui taught us how many times to be honest and trustworthy. This is one of the most basic principles of being a person. You said you were full of nonsense, but we still trusted you. Guo Chuanjiang had just been betrayed by Ling Jiling, and now Qin Tianjian and Zhou Boqing were adding insult to injury. This was the biggest humiliation he had ever suffered in his life. Looking at the ever-changing situation, Su Yun sat more steadily than anyone else present. He quietly analyzed everyone's psychological state. As the saying goes, know thyself and know thy enemy, and you will be victorious in 100 battles. This saying was not groundless. For hundreds of years, whether it was national wars, business competition, or political intrigue, it could not be separated from this saying. Su Yun was not sure whether Ling Jiling would have done the same thing if he had not suddenly spoken up, or she would have done the opposite. Regarding this, Su Yun did not want to think about it, nor did he want to ask. Qin Tianjian, Zhou Boqing, the two of you are really something. Guo Chuanjiang sneered. Fine, since everything is going to fall on my head, then I will accept it. Yes, I have seen him in the office. But so what if I have seen him? Even if I have seen him, I can't prove that he is Zhang Taisui's designated successor. I have seen many people in the CEO's office. Are all the people I have seen their Zhang Taisui's successor? Humph, what a joke. This is not evidence at all. As he spoke, Guo Chuanjiang suddenly slammed his hand on the long oval conference table. He looked furious. If he was neutral, his words did make sense. However, under the current crisis of personal reputation, anything he said would be useless. Now no one could prove anything for Su Yun. Su Yun slowly stood up and walked in front of Guo Chuanjiang with an evil smile. Guo Chuanjiang was a little nervous. If Su Yun made a move, he was no match for him. Mr. Guo, what kind of evidence are you looking for? Su Yun said indifferently. Are you trying to say that I am spying on Sky Entertainment Corporation? Haha, I can tell you very clearly that if Sky Entertainment Corporation did not belong to Zhang Taisui, I would not even be in this room to care about your stupid business. If Sky Entertainment Corporation can develop according to Zhang Taisui's wishes, I don't care who becomes the CEO. As long as they don't do anything out of line, don't do anything that Zhang Taisui hates. Zhou Meiyan was doing everything well, but you suddenly want to force her to abdicate. Do you think she is not doing well? What is she not doing well? Is Sky Entertainment Corporation's influence declining? Or is it because you are making less money than last year? Touch your conscience and look up. Zhang Taisui is watching from above. If Zhou Meiyan was not doing well, he would have arranged for someone else to do it. It is not up to you to make decisions. Zhou Meiyan played a huge role in Sky Entertainment Corporation's orderly development after Zhang Taisui's departure. Even if Su Yun did not say anything, these people should know better than Su Yun. If you did not force her, I would not have come to take over Sky Entertainment Corporation. Su Yun laughed coldly. But now that I am here, I must accept it. If you want evidence, fine, I will give it to you. Su Yun suddenly raised his hand above his head. His 5 fingers were like an eagle gathering strength, strong and powerful. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Su Yun's palm spun and landed heavily on the heavy conference table. The conference table was made of pure wood and was oval in shape. Each circle was about 45 meters long and could seat 40 people. When Su Yun's palm slammed down, everyone saw the mineral water in front of them tremble and collapse. The strong wooden conference table suddenly emitted a cracking sound, and deep cracks appeared on the surface of the table one after another. Chapter 407. Su Yun retracted his hand and said casually, "As the top management of Sky Entertainment Group, all of you have been with Zhang Taisui for a long time, so you should all be familiar with my attack, right? I remember that when he was very angry, the table next to him would be in trouble. Even the priceless rosewood coffee table, with a carved dragon, couldn't escape this fate, because he would use this to warn those who did something wrong, and tell them, 'I've already emphasized this matter. Whoever commits the same mistake again will be punished in this way.' Am I right?" Shock. Other than shock, there was only shock left. They were all very familiar with what Su Yun had just said. Zhang Taisui rarely got angry, so every time he did, he would release his terrifying internal energy and warn everyone, "I've already emphasized this matter. Whoever commits the same mistake again will be punished in this way." At this time, everyone knew whether or not Su Yun was Zhang Taisui's successor. Very few people knew Zhang Taisui's habits, and if he wasn't Zhang Taisui's designated successor, it would be very difficult for him to have such terrifying strength. Su Yun's strength was no less than Zhuo Meiyan's, so it was completely certain that he wasn't the kind of person who would willingly become a puppet. All the signs pointed to the authenticity of Su Yun's identity. Whether it was in shock or in other aspects, no one dared to open their mouth to question him. At least, even Guo Chuanjiang was speechless. He didn't dare to imagine what would have happened to him if that palm had landed on his body. Bleeding from his face, Su Yun raised his hand and patted Guo Chuanjiang's shoulder. "Mr. Guo, Zhang Taisui liked to eat the noodles you made at your stall, and he saw that you were an honest person, so he helped you. You can be considered a hero who helped Sky Entertainment Group conquer the world with him. Everyone makes mistakes. I understand this principle. Just now, I did want to slap you on the head, but I felt that Zhang Taisui was watching me from above. He didn't let me do it, and even if he's already in heaven, he still remembers your contributions. You don't care about his kindness anymore." "Don't say it." Guo Chuanjiang's legs couldn't help but soften at Su Yun's words. In his life, the person he respected the most was Zhang Taisui. Even if Zhang Taisui had passed away, Guo Chuanjiang still felt that there really was a pair of eyes staring at him from above. "You can do this, you've already proven yourself." "I, Guo Chuanjiang, have no objections. I have some urgent matters at home. I'll take my leave first." Zhuo Meiyan shouted. "Guo Chuanjiang, stop." "You, Zhuo Meiyan," Zhuo Meiyan's voice. "Zhuo Meiyan, Mr. Zhuo." Zhuo Meiyan's eyes, Zhuo Meiyan's. Zhuo Meiyan's eyes flashed with an ominous glint. It was clearly Guo Chuanjiang's doing, but now he refused to admit it. "Guo Chuanjiang, I see that you've made up your mind, right?" "Zhuo Meiyan, please don't force me." Su Yun smiled. "Mr. Guo, since you have urgent matters at home, you should go back and deal with them. Otherwise, if you go to work with your emotions, it won't be good for your family and Sky Entertainment. Don't worry, I'll find a way to deal with all your matters." When Guo Chuanjiang heard this, the muscles on his face trembled even more. If Su Yunning were to take over all his work, he would become a useless person in Sky Entertainment. However, Guo Chuanjiang was confident that the things he had in his hands could not be done by anyone else. He wanted to take a gamble. As long as no one else could do what he did, even if Su Yun took over, he would still have to be respectful to him. He could still hold his head high for the rest of his life. "Thank you." Guo Chuanjiang threw down his words and left. Qin Tianjian and Zhou Buqing didn't say a word to help Guo Chuanjiang. The iron triangle that seemed to be very close was actually a very fragile alliance. As the saying goes, when disaster strikes, everyone flies away. It was a perfect description for the three of them. After Guo Chuanjiang's figure disappeared through the door, Qin Tianjian shook his head and sighed. Fine. You may know a person for a long time, But you can't judge his heart from his face. I didn't think that Qin Tianjian, would be able to tell that he was this kind of person even after so many years of friendship. Sigh, it's too scary. Su Yun smiled. Yes, I'm afraid that even after so many years of friendship, Mr. Gu didn't realize that you were such a righteous person. Qin Tianjian's body stiffened, and his face showed a trace of embarrassment. He forced a smile and said, "Ha ha ha, maybe. If he could see that, he wouldn't have pulled you into an alliance." Su Yun's words were like a resounding slap to Qin Tianjian's face, but Qin Tianjian couldn't say that it hurt. He had to put on a smile and say that it was great. Zhou Buqing wasn't as scheming as Qin Tianjian. He knew that once Gu Chuanjiang's matter was over, he wouldn't have a good time either. Su Yun, I don't care if you are Zhang Taisui's successor or not. Even if you are, if you don't have any achievements in Sky Entertainment Group, I won't be convinced by you. Everyone will be like me. Humph, you want us to bow down to you? Fine, Gu Chuanjiang is in charge of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza, and it just so happens that they are facing a bottleneck. You can solve this problem, and everyone will be convinced by you. Su Yun nodded, relaxed. Mr. Zhou, even if you didn't ask me to do this, I would have done it. This is my duty. I have the responsibility to stand up for Sky Entertainment Group at its most difficult time. I won't drink the bottle of red wine you prepared for me today. You can invite me again when I'm done with the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. The corner of Zhou Buqing's mouth twitched. He had prepared that bottle of red wine for the three of them to celebrate their victory over Zhuo Meiyan. He didn't expect that he wouldn't be able to drink it today. What's the point of celebrating now? That bastard Gu Chuanjiang just left and left a mess behind. How are we going to clean it up? Mr. Zhou, we should believe in Mr. Su's ability. Mr. Su is young and talented. I'm sure this small matter won't be a problem for him. Qin Tianjian pushed the mess aside, and all the pressure was placed on Su Yun's shoulders. At this time, other executives also stood up. Yes, Mr. Qin is right. I believe that you are Sky Entertainment Group's successor, but the successor must be capable. Otherwise, even if it is Zhang Taisui's successor, we won't be at ease. So if you want to take over Sky Entertainment Group, then show us your ability. Yes. Let us see if you have the ability to shoulder the future of Sky Entertainment Group. If you don't, even if you become the CEO of Sky Entertainment Group, we will still withdraw our shares and leave Sky Entertainment Group. We won't put our fate in the hands of someone who isn't capable. The executives present all expressed their thoughts. What they were most concerned about now was the construction of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. Once the construction of the Film and Television Plaza was completed, Sky Entertainment Group would reach a new height. Once the construction of the Film and Television Plaza was taken over by another big company, Sky Entertainment Group would lose the capital to compete with Huaxia Entertainment Group. Zhuo Meiyan smiled bitterly and looked at Su Yun. She shrugged helplessly and used her body language to tell him, "Now you know how much pressure I am under. If you don't come out and help me, then I won't be able to hold on anymore." Su Yun didn't know anything about Sky Entertainment Group, but he was a born optimist. No matter how much pressure he was under, no matter how difficult things were, Su Yun would still say the same thing. God wouldn't starve a blind sparrow to death. That meant that there was always a way out. For Su Yun, who was always under the pressure of life and death, these things weren't a problem at all. When the car reaches the mountain, there is always a way out. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. The heavy stone in Ling Zhiling's heart finally disappeared slowly. After all the leaders and high-level officials left, Zhuo Meiyan stepped forward and grabbed her hand. She said angrily, "Zhiling, you almost scared me to death just now. I thought they had bought you over." My tolerance isn't as strong as Su Yun's. At times like this, I can't think as calmly as he can. Please don't joke with me like this in the future. I won't dare to do it again. President Zhuo, you are so timid. Ling Zhiling said with a smile. Zhuo Meiyan's face finally showed a smile that hadn't been seen for a long time. She said, "What do you want to eat for lunch? It's my treat. Just order whatever you want." Before they could discuss what to eat, Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong rushed up. Su Yun knew something was wrong. Before the two could say anything, He pulled them away from Zhuo Meiyan and Wu Yuandong and asked, "What's wrong?" Wu Yuandong pouted downstairs. A few Japanese brought a lot of people to block the entrance of Xingkai Hotel. They didn't let anyone in. They said they wanted to check the hotel's surveillance. Wang Zhe and I just went down to take a look. It must be Darong Electronics. Yesterday we made Nakamura Junji look like that at the hotel. I'm afraid they don't want to let us go. Sigh, this kind of thing kept popping up. It really didn't make him feel at ease. They had been in Xinjiang for 2 days, but Su Yin still hadn't found the time to ask about Yu Marin's whereabouts. Brother Yin, why don't we go down and fight it out with them? I don't believe that they can behave so atrociously in our territory. Wang Zhe clenched his fists so tightly that they made cracking sounds. His face was full of displeasure. If Su Yin ordered him to go down now, he wouldn't hesitate to take out a machete and chop the other party into pieces. Let's go down and take a look first. After all, we are the ones who did this. It's best not to make a fuss. If the police come, it won't do us any good. Su Yin looked relaxed. Wang Zhe, go and tell Zhuo Meiyan and Wu Yuandong to wait for me at the famous Italian restaurant on the 58th floor. I'll go down with Brother Dong first. Chapter 408. When Su Yin and Wang Zhe walked down leisurely, the entrance of the hotel was in a mess. The hotel staff was trying very hard to communicate with the Japanese, but the Japanese didn't seem to have any intention of cooperating at all. They still occupied the entire entrance of the hotel, as if they weren't afraid of anything. This was Xinjiang. There was no need to say how prosperous Xinjiang was. It was the economic center of the entire Huaxia. In this place, even if you had a few 100 million, you wouldn't dare to say that you were rich. In Xinjiang, which was right in front of the Bund, there were many people who couldn't make a splash even if they spent a few 100 million. To be able to occupy such a good location in such a big city, and own such a great hotel, they naturally couldn't be ordinary people. Therefore, this group of Japanese was indeed arrogant enough to cause trouble here. It was impossible that the big boss behind the hotel didn't know about this matter, but he didn't order people to chase this group of troublemakers away, because he wanted to give face to the Darong group. As for the cause of this incident, he also started to investigate behind the scenes. If it was really something that happened in the hotel, he would definitely treat it seriously. If these Japanese were looking for trouble for no reason by bringing in random women to play, and causing trouble for himself, then of course he wouldn't take this loss. Before the matter was investigated clearly, Xingkai Hotel could only try its best to persuade these Japanese to move away from the entrance. Now, they had seriously affected the convenience of the hotel guests. After all, anyone who had money to spend at Xingkai Hotel wasn't an ordinary person, who didn't have a net worth of over 100 million. If they offended any of the guests, it would be Xingkai's loss. Are you going to deal with it or not? I have urgent matters to attend to now. Your hotel actually let the Japanese block the entrance. What the hell is this? Is this still Huaxia's place? Is this still Xinjiang? Why do I feel like I'm in King Changdao? Guo Chuanjiang roared at the entrance. The Japanese blocked the entrance of the hotel, so he couldn't leave at all. Even if he was a luxurious Barbasa, the group of Japanese had no intention of moving away. Guo Chuanjiang, who was really impatient, vented all his unhappiness on the hotel security staff. Can't you guys disperse them? Do you want us customers to chase them away personally? I'm a customer. I am God. Sir, please calm down first. We are trying to think of a way. The hotel staff could only patiently comfort Guo Chuanjiang. Perhaps Guo Chuanjiang's overreaction angered one of the Japanese. The Japanese cursed and rushed over. Idiot, you're blocking the way. Before we get to the bottom of this, none of you are allowed to leave. You better shut up. After all, Guo Chuanjiang was also a man. He had been with Zhang Taisui for so many years, so he was not a coward. He also responded with a classic curse, F*CKU. Who are you scolding? Who are you calling an idiot for blocking the road? You mother ***, you better explain it clearly. I don't believe that I can't defeat you. Su Yin and Wu Yuandong, who were watching from the side, couldn't help but change their negative impression of Guochuanjiang to positive. He could be a bad person, could be unkind, could forget kindness, but at least he still had the guts of a Huaxia man. I think you don't want to live anymore. The Japanese was furious. It seemed that he had been in Huaxia for a long time, so he could even understand the language. Before Guochuanjiang could react, the Japanese had already kicked the front of Guochuanjiang's brand new Barbasa. This was a new baby that Guochuanjiang had only driven for less than 2,000 kilometers. F***CK. He hadn't even gone to the VIP yet. This mother F***Ker actually dared to kick him. Even a clay figurine would have some anger, let alone Guochuanjiang, who had just suppressed his anger upstairs. His fat body suddenly leaped forward, and his thick arms fiercely hugged the Japanese's neck. With a bang, the Japanese was directly thrown to the ground by Guochuanjiang. The back of his head hit the ground, and he instantly fainted. No matter what, Guochuanjiang was still a person who hung out with Zhang Taisui. Even if his body was out of shape now, he was still a beginner. He more or less had some knowledge of martial arts. When he fought, he was naturally not on the same level as ordinary people. The moment Guochuanjiang made his move, the Japanese were instantly enraged. A portion of them weren't people to be trifled with. Although Guochuanjiang's looks were ordinary, his attacks were vicious and experienced. They immediately surrounded Guochuanjiang, and under the command of the leader, several of them took turns to attack. After 3 to 5 moves, Guochuanjiang was completely reduced to the point where he could only defend. He had no chance to fight back at all. Seeing Guochuanjiang's fat body being beaten up by a group of Japanese, to be honest, Suyin didn't feel good. The hotel staff went forward to stop them, but they were stopped by the Japanese. Because they were fighting on the spot, the Japanese had already taken out their batons. This thing was not a joke. If it hit the body, even if it did not break an arm or a leg, it would definitely be lacerated. What if it hit the head and made it stupid? Seeing that no one dared to go forward, the group of Japanese became even more rampant. 7 or 8 Japanese who were good at fighting surrounded Guochuanjiang and kicked him. The remaining few were not careless. When they saw Guochuanjiang's luxurious car, they actually picked up their batons and strode forward. They directly raised their arms and wanted to smash the car. Wu Yuandong felt a gust of wind blow past him. Su Yun's figure had already arrived in front of the luxurious car. Before the Japanese's baton could land, Su Yun caught it. Su Yun suddenly raised his leg and hit the Japanese's calf. The Japanese fell forward directly. His chin hit the front of the car and he fainted. This sudden incident caught the Japanese off guard. Now another Huaxia person dared to resist them. This was simply intolerable. Baka. The leading Japanese suddenly let out a heart-wrenching roar and pounced forward, wanting to fight to the death with Su Yun. But before he could even touch Su Yun's clothes, Wu Yuandong dashed over and swept his left cheek with a clean whip kick. He was flung 6 to 7 meters away. Seeing that their boss was injured, 2 people immediately rushed towards Wu Yuandong's back while crying out in pain. Without another word, Su Yun raised the baton that he had just snatched and smashed one of them in the face. While the other was still in shock, Su Yun's heavy punch landed on his face like a cannonball. His face was smashed into a dye shop. The appearance of Su Yun and Wu Yuandong undoubtedly gave the onlookers a boost of adrenaline. No one knew who took the lead and shouted, "Good! Kill those Japanese people!" These words instantly ignited the passion of all the people. No one was afraid or worried about the batons in the hands of the Japanese anymore. They directly swarmed forward and surrounded the 30-odd Japanese at the main entrance of Xingkai Hotel, violently beating them up. The hotel's security guards saw this and went forward to stop them, but they were stopped by Su Yun. Even security guards have to have some backbone. When the Japanese attacked our Huaxia people, you didn't do anything. Now that our Huaxia people are attacking them, you want to stop them? Brother, you have to figure out whose blood is flowing in your body. As a security guard, you can become a real man like Lu Ziguang from Orange Age. Or you can become a watchdog that everyone despises. It depends on your choice. Hearing this, the security guard leader suddenly shouted and threw his hat to the ground. He took out his uniform and shouted to the other security guards, "Brothers, even if we lose our jobs today, We can't lose the face of our Huaxia people. These F*King Japanese people are bullying us in our faces. Why don't we beat them up? Even if the leader says so, I won't listen. I'm not doing this anymore. If you're a man, come with me. With the addition of these security guards, the 30-odd Japanese people were beaten until they covered their heads and fled. They were no match for them at all. Their cars were also surrounded by the crowd. If they wanted to drive away, they would have to risk getting 7 or 8 big bumps on their heads. Guo Chuanjiang wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth with the back of his hand and looked up at Su Yun. He didn't say any words of thanks. Why did you help me? Don't misunderstand, I definitely didn't mean to help you. Su Yun smiled lightly. I just can't stand the Japanese acting so presumptuously in Huaxia's territory. You're still the Guo Chuanjiang that I hate, and I'm still the Su Yun that you hate. The relationship between us is how it should be. It's impossible for us to bury the hatchet just because of this. That would be too melodramatic. Mr. Guo, don't you think so? Guo Chuanjiang snorted heavily. Okay, since you know that I won't thank you for this, that's good. I'm just afraid that you'll misunderstand. Su Yun pointed at his luxury car. Okay, Mr. Guo, hurry up and go. Don't you have something urgent at home? If you don't hurry, it'll be too late. Hurry up and go. Take care on the road. Look at how unlucky you are today. They say that misfortunes never come alone. Don't get into another car accident. Guo Chuanjiang's face turned green. Thank you for your kind words. After the Barbasa slowly left, Wu Yuandong said, Brother, you're really generous. You don't care about Guo Chuanjiang at this time. He's an ungrateful guy. I helped him because he was the only one in the group who dared to challenge the Japanese. Su Yun said, I think Huaxiao is actually especially lacking in this kind of hot-blooded and unyielding person. I finally understand why Zhang Taisui took a fancy to him in the past. He must have taken a fancy to this hot-blooded character in him. At least if there was a war now, Guo Chuanjiang wouldn't be a traitor. That's why I helped him. If the Japanese beat him up just now and he dared to be submissive, I wouldn't care even if he was beaten to death. At this time, Wang Zhe also came down from upstairs. When he saw the Japanese being beaten up, he was eager to fight, but Su Yun didn't let him do it. Chapter 409. After the violent beating, the 30-plus Japanese who were still aggressive earlier fled into the 5 commercial vehicles in a sorry state. Only then did they manage to escape. Originally, it was the east wind suppressing the west wind, but with Su Yun's interference, it directly became the west wind suppressing the east wind. The general manager's office of Xinkai Hotel was on the 6th floor. It was a special position where one could overlook the entire front yard of the hotel by standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. Therefore, the scene that just happened was clearly seen by Yi Fala, who was standing in front of the window. Yi Fala's refined professional attire revealed her slender black legs. The 8-centimeter high heels made her look even more elegant. She casually tucked a strand of hair in front of her forehead behind her ear and crossed her arms in front of her chest, making the 2 peaks in front of her chest even more erect and magnificent. In these few minutes, her gaze didn't leave the man outside the window at the entrance of the hotel downstairs. This man was really rare. Yi Fala always thought that she had seen countless people, especially men. She once thought that there was no man that she, Yi Fala, couldn't handle. However, the man that appeared in front of her right now was the kind that made her feel that she couldn't conquer at first glance. Yi Fala knew that this was definitely not just because this man could change the entire situation with his own strength. There was also something else, but she couldn't explain what it was. This was a mysterious man, and she firmly believed that she wouldn't guess wrong. Knock, knock, knock. The sound of knocking from the door interrupted Yi Fala's thoughts. She retracted her gaze, lightly pulled her collar, and said indifferently, Come in. Director Yi, we've already checked the surveillance data and printed out the photos of the suspicious people. The general manager's assistant must be someone who can do everything, and must be someone who can do everything well. Otherwise, it would be impossible to establish a foothold in this cruel and competitive society. Yi Fala nodded. Put the information on the table. Little Wang, come over for a moment. Assistant Wang immediately put the information on the table, and walked in front of Yi Fala. Yi Fala pointed at the three people outside the window who were talking together. Do you see those three people? The man in the black shirt in the middle. Help me pay attention to him, and ask the front desk which room this guest is staying in. Ah. Assistant Wang was dumbfounded when she saw the three people. She exclaimed. Yi Fala was not a person who liked to make a fuss, so he quickly frowned. What's there to make a fuss about? Are you all right? Assistant Wang looked at Yi Fala innocently. Xiao Yi Yusai, you really don't show your true self. These three people are all guests who live in standard rooms on the 15th floor. One is 1506, one is 1508, and the other is 1529. Yi Fala was a smart person. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to establish herself in Xinjiang. Even if Shangguan Yudi was no longer by her side to protect her, she could still live beautifully on such a big stage. Naturally, she was a smart person. Moreover, she wasn't an ordinary smart person. Therefore, when Yi Fala heard that the assistant was able to tell him the addresses of these three people immediately, he was not surprised at all. Instead, he directly looked at the document that had just been sent to him on the office table. Yi Fala waved his hand. Okay, I got it. You can go out first. If there's anything else, I'll call you again. Oh, by the way, tell Secretary Li that he doesn't have to deliver coffee anymore. Yes. Assistant Wang immediately nodded and bowed as he walked out. After Assistant Wang left the room, Yi Fala walked to the desk and picked up the document. There were many photos taken from the surveillance cameras. The three clearest photos were the faces of the three people downstairs. These three faces were naturally Su Yun, Wang Zhe, and Wu Yuandong. Yi Fala picked up Su Yun's photo and looked at it for a long time in front of her. She had no impression at all. She was sure that she had never seen this man in any upper-class cocktail party in Xinjiang. But why was this man so bold that he didn't even put Darong Electronics in his eyes? Although Darong Electronics was a joint venture of a Japanese and Huaxia, it had been in China for many years, so it was deeply rooted. Darong Electronics' power in Xinjiang was definitely not weaker than a local tyrant in Xinjiang. Even a woman like Yi Fala had to be wary of Darong Electronics. So Yi Fala couldn't understand how big this man's background was. He definitely wasn't someone with a reputation in Xinjiang. So where did he get the courage to go against Darong Electronics? There were also two people in the other photos. There was an indescribable aura between their eyebrows. Obviously, these two people were definitely not ordinary people. In this document, other than the photos, there was also a printed report. The rooms of these three people were opened by Jibei Sky Entertainment Group in Jiangbei Province. White lips bamboo leaf green. Yi Fala looked up at the ceiling and said to herself, You really aren't a simple woman. Even this kind of man is kneeling under your skirt. Admirable. Obviously, this document was very detailed. It described how Su Yun stole the room card, and how the three of them sneaked into Nakamura Junji's room. Everything was described very clearly. This was because Yi Fala didn't like her subordinates to talk about things in her ear. Yi Fala knew that her aura was very strong. Her subordinates would always be intimidated by her aura in front of her. When they spoke, they would stutter and talk incoherently, which made her feel annoyed. So she asked them to write it down, then print it out and give it to her. After knowing the gist of the matter, Yi Fala could basically control what would happen next. Darong Electronics would definitely not let this matter rest. Because the incident did indeed happen in their hotel, no matter if the three of them did anything or not, they couldn't get rid of their identity as suspects. Darong Electronics was owned by Japanese. They often wouldn't choose to believe the police in this kind of thing, so Yi Fala could basically be sure that the police wouldn't find trouble with them. The only thing that made Yi Fala feel conflicted was, what should she do? She once again picked up the photo of Su Yun on the table. This photo was taken by the surveillance camera when Su Yun stole the room card at the guest room service desk. His facial features could be roughly seen. Yi Fala was a little hesitant. If the person who committed the crime wasn't this man, would she not hesitate to send people to arrest him, and then send him to Darong Electronics? Of course, Yi Fala wasn't unpatriotic. With her identity, she didn't need to be submissive in front of the Japanese. She just didn't want this matter to ruin the reputation of Shinkai Hotel. Shinkai Hotel was a landmark in Xinjiang. If there were any bad word spread here, it would be the greatest harm and loss to Shinkai. After struggling with her thoughts for a long time, Yifala finally made up her mind. She had to personally meet this man. If he was really someone that she couldn't subdue, then she was willing to go against the Japanese to the end for him. If he was just a man with an empty appearance, then she was sorry. She wouldn't gamble the reputation of Shinkai Hotel for a useless man. Just after Yifala made her decision, the secretary called. Director Yi, Mr. Nakamura from Darong Electronics is calling. Do you want me to connect you? Tell him I'm not here. Yifala's reply was clean. Obviously, Nakamura Kahiko already knew that the people he sent were beaten up, and wanted to call to question her. However, Yifala wasn't in the mood to chat with Nakamura Kahiko, so she directly rejected him. This was because the people who beat up the Japanese weren't an individual, but a group of onlookers. This was the choice made by Huaxia, so Nakamura Kahiko definitely wouldn't do anything else. That was why Yifala made this choice. Nakamura Kahiko, who was still in the hospital, was obviously very angry. His son Nakamura Junji was still in the emergency room undergoing surgery. One had to know that this kind of surgery was very likely to end his bloodline if he wasn't careful. His eldest son, Junichiro Nakamura, had already died in a plane crash in Japan. He didn't want anything to happen to his second son, Junji Nakamura. He was already in his 60s, and it was impossible for him to have another child. If something happened to Junji Nakamura, it meant that his Nakamura family's bloodline might end. He had such a big family, and he had such a big Darong Electronics. How could he bear such a harsh blow? But now, Nakamura Kahiko didn't even answer his call to Yifala, the Black Widow. Obviously, she was avoiding this matter with him. And the people he sent were beaten up by the Huaxia crowd, because they were too overbearing. All kinds of depressed things pressed down on Nakamura Kahiko's heart. He was so angry that his teeth were itching. On the contrary, Suyin was very happy now. He had to admit that the Italian food at Shinkai Hotel was really authentic. Suyin hadn't eaten such delicious Italian meat sauce noodles in a long time. There were cranberry shortbread, cheese chicken, traditional lasagna, milk carrots, seafood rice, and tuna pizza. Every dish made Suyin praise them. Wang Zhe and Wu Yuandong could be said to be enjoying a good life with Suyin. In the past, Zuomeyan wouldn't bring them to eat, but now they could eat with Suyin and enjoy such delicious Italian food. And sitting across from them were Zuomeyan, Ling Jiling, and Fengying, three beauties. Ordinary people couldn't enjoy such treatment. Fengying also hadn't eaten so happily for a long time. After Zhang Taisui's death, she felt so relaxed for the first time. The reason was very simple. Suyin had finally stood up. Finally, there was someone to carry the burden on her and Zuomeyan's shoulders. Although she was only the general secretary of Sky Entertainment Group, she wasn't that simple. Everyone in Sky Entertainment knew this. Ling Jiling was in a good mood to be able to sit with Suyin again. She secretly said thank you to Suyin. Perhaps only Suyin could understand the meaning of this thank you. Suyin was now a little sure. If he hadn't laughed and exposed her lie, the people sitting here eating happily today might have been Guo Chuanjiang, Zhou Buoqing, and Qin Tianjian. Everyone made mistakes, so Suyin didn't blame her at all. Sometimes, people's consciousness would make some decisions in an instant. These decisions might be wrong, but if they were corrected immediately, then they would immediately correct their mistakes. Chapter 410. Even though Suyun's path wasn't completely smooth, and the difficulties that Sky Entertainment Group would face in the future would give him a headache, at least for now, he had solved the urgent problem. With Suyun's positive attitude, Zuomeyan's mood was naturally much more relaxed. If Zhang Taisui knew about this in the underworld, he would definitely be overjoyed. After lunch, Suyin originally wanted to go out and have some fun, but Zuomeyan and Fengying immediately rejected him. Since Suyin had agreed to take over Sky Entertainment Group, he couldn't be like before. He had to understand the inner workings of Sky Entertainment Group, the core of the company. He had to understand how Sky Entertainment Group could survive in this competitive society, and what Sky Entertainment Group's core competitiveness was. These things couldn't be explained in a few sentences, So Su Yun's desire to party in the afternoon was completely shattered. The only thing he could do now was to obediently follow Feng to her room, and Feng would tell him a bunch of things to remember. Of course, in order to encourage and support him, Ling Jiling also went to cheer him on. With Ling Jiling's encouragement, Su Yun couldn't read 10 lines at a glance, but he was able to achieve twice the result with half the effort. Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe didn't have anything to do, so Zhou Meiyan gave them a break and told them to go play anywhere they wanted. However, the only thing she asked of them was that they couldn't go to Swang to give money to her disappointing brother, Zui Yeming. Although Zui Yeming hadn't been heard from for many days, Zhou Meiyan wasn't worried at all. He definitely wouldn't starve to death. Even if he was forced to the point where he didn't have any food to eat, he would just resell the Ferrari FF at a low price. If Zhou Meiyan knew that Zui Yeming had earned his first bucket of gold from the 50 yuan business of sitting in a car for a photo session, he would be living in the lap of luxury and wouldn't need to ask for money at all. Because he had a supercar, the rich second generations of Suang had repeatedly come to him to make friends. There were countless rich second generations who wanted to treat him to meals and drinks. Su Hang was also a big city, and there were many rich people who could afford to drive a Ferrari. However, they were still surprised by Zui Yeming's car, because Zui Yeming's car was very special. It was obviously custom-made. It definitely wasn't bought through the order process. Therefore, these people also thought highly of Zui Yeming. Even if Zui Yeming ate and drank with them without paying, these people still believed that Zui Yeming was a super rich person. If the car ran out of gas, they could simply find a school entrance and shout 50 yuan to take a selfie in the car. That would earn them thousands or tens of thousands of yuan. Many people felt that since they could never afford to drive a Ferrari in their lifetime, they might as well spend 50 yuan to take a selfie and post it on Weibo to satisfy their vanity. The board meeting in the afternoon could finally proceed as normal. Of course, Su Yun didn't participate. He still needed to study a lot before he could familiarize himself with Sky Entertainment Group. Zhou Meiyan was still in charge of everything. This was something that all the executives present knew. After all, no one could take over such a big business all at once. Moreover, as the Crown Prince, he still needed to take over Qingdao Film and Television Plaza as his capital. Right now, he could only say that he was in name only. Compared to the Crown Prince, everyone would rather believe in Zhou Meiyan, who had been in charge of Sky Entertainment Group for so long. Feng Ying and Ling Jiling stayed by Su Yun's side the whole time. If Su Yun didn't understand anything, Feng Ying would explain it to him. If Su Yun wanted to eat or drink, Ling Jiling would immediately prepare it for him. His life was definitely like that of a crown prince. With 2 beautiful women waiting on him, many people wouldn't even dare to dream of it. However, Su Yun still had some thoughts in his mind. His mind would always wander. After all, there were other things on his mind. Where would Yumarin be? That was the question Su Yun was thinking about the most. According to Su Yun's understanding of the Dragon Fury team and the Dragon Brigade over the years, it was very likely that they were also staying in a luxurious hotel. There were too many luxurious hotels in Xinjiang, especially in the bustling city center. There were as many as the stars in the sky. Su Yun? Su Yun? Feng Ying called out twice. Su Yun didn't respond at all. She was completely helpless. This guy had already wandered off so many times. She couldn't even count how many times he had wandered off. I think it's better if you wait until you're interested in these things. After all, even if you take over Sky Entertainment, Meiyan will still stay here to help you fight for the world. Zai. Su Yun smiled awkwardly. He scratched his head and said, Sister Feng Ying, I actually have other things to do in Xinjiang. If I don't finish them, I won't feel at ease. How about this? After I finish my things, I'll look at whatever you want me to look at. Hearing that Su Yun had other things to do, Ling Jiling was a bit nervous. What other things do you have to do? Is it dangerous? Sister Jiling, don't worry. It's definitely not dangerous this time. Su Yun smiled. I just want to ask an old friend something. I only know that she's in Xinjiang, but I don't know where exactly she is. Ling Jiling frowned and said, Isn't that simple? Just call her and ask. If he could make a call, he wouldn't be so uneasy. Feng Ying shook her head helplessly. Su Yun, If you don't know where she is and want to find her in Xinjiang, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Although the area of Xinjiang isn't that big, the population here has probably exceeded 25 million. If you want to find one person among 25 million people, I'm afraid it won't be that easy. Su Yin sighed. Yeah, it's such a simple thing, but you make it so complicated. Sister Feng, do you know how many good hotels there are in Xinjiang? 196 five-star hotels. Feng said lightly. I can't remember the 4-star ones. I don't have that many brain cells. 196. Su Yin almost wanted to vomit blood. A big city was a big city. Just thinking about this number was scary. One must know that in Hudong City, their medicinal cuisine hotel could be considered a very domineering hotel. If they were to bring it to Xinjiang, it would probably be ranked outside the top 1,000. This was really troublesome. With so many hotels, the only way was to search them one by one. Su Yin believed that if any of the hotels had people from the Dragon Brigade, he would definitely be able to sense it. There was no doubt about that. You're not thinking of searching them one by one, right? Feng was speechless. Since you know that your friend is definitely staying in a hotel, then tell me his name. I'm familiar with most of the people in charge of the hotels here. I'll call them and ask them to help check. If they find him, it won't be too late for you to go then. Sigh, I really don't know what to do with you. Su Yin smiled bitterly. The name of the hotel definitely isn't their name. I've thought about this. If it was really that simple, I would have asked you for help long ago. Feng really didn't know what to do. She shrugged helplessly. Then I can't help you. Ling Jiling really wanted to help Su Yin as soon as possible. Then do you have a picture of your friend? I'll post it on Weibo and ask my fans to help repost it. Maybe you'll give me an answer soon. That's a good idea. With Ling Jiling's public influence, you might be able to find the person you're looking for very quickly. Feng also agreed with this idea. Su Yin shook his head. I don't have a picture. And even if I did, I definitely can't do that. If I do, I'll be in big trouble. Feng understood and nodded. Secret staff, haha. Then we really can't help. You two can chat. I'll go to the conference room first. If you really want to search one hotel after another, then let Wu Yuandong take you there. He's familiar with the way to these hotels. Thank you, Sister Feng. Su Yin thanked her gratefully. Ling Jiling saw that even Feng couldn't help. She was also at her wit's end. Since the person you're looking for is so mysterious, I think it's better if I don't accompany you. I'll support you mentally. Good luck. Good luck. Su Yin smiled faintly. He knew that he would never get any good news if he just sat there and waited, so he asked Wu Yuandong to drive him to a few hotels in the circle. Wherever Yu Marin was, there would definitely be secret bodyguards from the Dragon Brigade. Even if those bodyguards weren't from the Dragon Fury team, they would definitely recognize him, Yanlong and Su Yun. No matter what, he was still the instructor and captain of Dragon's Fury. After spending more than 2 hours visiting 3 hotels, Su Yun didn't find anything. Because the roads in Xinjiang were too congested, driving was not convenient at all. Seeing that it was getting dark, Su Yun decided to go back first. He would think of another way to find the person he wanted. This was too slow, so it was better to do it late at night. After returning to Xinkai, they had dinner as usual. Because Ling Jiling happened to be in Xinjiang, one of the higher-ups introduced a famous screenwriter who was interested in collaborating with Sky Entertainment. This famous screenwriter only had one request. Ling Jiling had to be the female lead. Only then would he sell his script. Thus, after dinner, Zhou Meiyan, Ling Jiling, and Feng made an appointment with the higher-up to meet the screenwriter. Originally, Su Yin wanted to go as well, but after thinking about it, he felt that it was inappropriate. Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe, as the driver and bodyguard, naturally had to go as well. Thus, only Su Yin was left in Xinkai Hotel. Xinjiang's nightlife was so lively. But Su Yin just stood by the window and looked out at the brightly lit buildings. He kept wondering which hotel Yu Marin was staying at. Suddenly, the phone on the bedside rang. Su Yin picked it up and heard the person asking if he needed special service. How could such a high-class hotel do such a thing? Su Yin impatiently said, "Keep it for yourself," and hung up. In order to prevent them from calling and harassing him, Su-yin directly unplugged the phone. However, even after hanging up and unplugging the phone, this special service person seemed to be tenacious and unrelenting. It was as if they were determined to defeat Su-yin. About 10 minutes later, Su-yin heard a knock on the door. Su-yin didn't think too much about it. Thinking that someone had come back, he directly opened the door. Chapter 411. Without waiting for Su-yin to open his mouth, the beautiful woman smiled and said, "You must be Mr. Su?" Su-yin, who had been staring blankly at the door, finally came back to his senses. His eyes also looked up at the cleavage in front of the beautiful woman's chest. After struggling for a while in his heart, Su-yin still chose to close the door. Walking back into the room, he looked at the beautiful woman who could call out his surname and said, "Do you know me?" "Sort of." The beautiful woman nodded and said, "I just talked to you on the phone. Didn't you want the special service? What, have you changed your mind?" "It doesn't matter. If you change your mind, we can just treat it as making friends. But you can't let me come here for nothing. Even if it's just a chat, you still have to pay me the appearance fee." "I don't think I agreed to any special service at all," Su-yin said indifferently. "Is this how you all do business? Shouldn't this also be counted as forced buying and selling? I don't know if the police will have any opinions about you doing business like this. You can call the police and ask them. However, even if we don't force you to buy and sell, the police might have opinions." The beautiful woman smiled and said, "Mr. Su, your words are really interesting. Nice to meet you." Su-yin snorted and said, "I'm also very happy to meet you. But I want to emphasize again that I don't need any special service. If you really want to do special service, then I want to tell you, don't waste your time on me. If you're just using this as an excuse to joke with me, then fine, you win. I admit that as a man I'm tempted. No man can resist your temptation. Aren't you afraid that I will really pounce on you like a wolf or a tiger?" The beautiful woman's eyes revealed a faint appreciation and said, "Didn't you already resist this temptation? At this time, you can still maintain the ability to analyze rationally. This is not something an ordinary man can do. Mr. Su, I'm really honored to meet you. My name is Yi Fala. You can call me Fala or Yi Zi. I'll call you Miss Yi." Yi Zi seems to have the same name as the king of online games in the novel world. With a wry smile, Su-yin said, "Miss Yi, I don't quite understand your purpose in coming here." Yi Fala's dressing was completely different from the one she wore in the office during the day. Her beautiful eyes were sparkling, and her jade-like cheeks were slightly rosy. Her beautiful face was less capable and delicate, but more charming and seductive. She looked like she had just come out of a nightclub. Her breasts were very high, and people couldn't help but want to take a second look. Haven't I made myself clear enough? Yi Fala didn't want to admit it. Since Mr. Su doesn't need my service, then I'll treat it as making friends with you. Su-yin raised the corner of his mouth. It seems that Miss Yi wants me to make it clear, right? But the Buddha pendant on your chest should be hand-carved with the best Hatian gobi blue and white flower seeds, right? Not to mention the master-level carving technique, this kind of jade, which is almost extinct on the market, is probably worth a lot. Yi Fala smiled slightly. Jade, this thing, many people play with it. I've seen a lot of young people who are squeezing on the bus and subway with it around their necks. Su-yin smiled and shook his head. Although I'm not a master, I have some research on jade. Those fake goods on the street can't be taken out at all. Although many people like to carry their fake goods around and show off to find psychological comfort. Whether it's the real Hatian or not, the owner of the jade knows best. Don't you think so, Miss Yi? You can afford to carry such a priceless jade, but you want to come out for special service. If you don't have other intentions, then you must be a little twisted in your mind and want to find excitement. Obviously, Miss Yi is very normal and not the second type of person. After listening to Su-yun's words, Yi Fala smiled very brightly. Her whole body was gorgeously dressed, and the meat on her chest swayed left and right, making Su-yun a little uneasy. Mr. Su, I really didn't misjudge you. Yi Fala smiled slightly. Yesterday, the second son of Dairei Entertainment's Nakamura Kahiko, Nakamura Junji, had a small incident in my hotel, which led to the scene at the hotel entrance today. I'm very grateful to Mr. Su for helping me solve the trouble at the hotel entrance, but at the same time, I also want to ask Mr. Su, who caused this trouble for our Xingkai hotel. Su Yin was a little surprised because this woman actually said the words, my hotel, unintentionally. Could it be that this woman in front of him was the legendary mysterious female boss of Xingkai Hotel? Miss Yi, I'm sorry, I take full responsibility for this matter. Su Yin didn't mean to deny the truth. I admit that when I did this, I didn't consider the credibility of Xingkai Hotel, but you should also know that as a Huaxia person, there are many times when I can't tolerate Japanese people behaving atrociously on our land. Yi Fala admired Su Yin even more for admitting it so freely. Very few people would face their own troubles so straightforwardly. Because she had already come to find him, Su Yin definitely knew that she was looking for trouble and definitely not trying to get close to him. Yet he could still admit it so straightforwardly. Just based on this momentum, it would be a bonus in the woman's heart. Since Shangguan Yudi left, this was the first time Yi Fala had such admiration for another man. Since Miss Yi is already here, you can just say what you want. Su Yin. I don't mean to drag others down. If you're worried about me and offended the Japanese, then you can rest assured. I won't let innocent people bear the responsibility that I should bear. Yi Fala smiled and shook her head. If I was afraid of the Japanese, I would have already captured you and sent you to Darii Entertainment's Nakamura Kahiko. I wouldn't have come here to make friends with you. Su Yin was startled. What does Miss Yi mean? Make friends with you. As long as you stay in Xingkai for a day, Xingkai won't let the Japanese threaten you at all. Yi Fala smiled faintly. Although I know that you guys are not afraid of trouble, this is Xinjiang after all, not Jibei. In Xinjiang, my words are more powerful than White Lips Bamboo Leaf Green. Su Yin raised his head and looked at Yi Fala. Obviously, she was not an ordinary person since she could even call out Zhou Meiyan's nickname. I've known Zhou Meiyan for more than a year. Don't think too much. Yi Fala smiled. I really don't have any other meaning. It's just that I'm a person who loves talents. So you want me to work for you? Su Yin smiled. Seeing Yi Fala's awkward expression, Su Yin also explained. Work for me. It would have been better if he didn't explain. The more he explained, the more awkward Yi Fala felt. If it wasn't for the fact that Yi Fala really admired Su Yin, she would have already turned hostile. A man who dared to make such a joke in front of her was still in his mother's womb. Yi Fala tried her best to adjust her emotions. How about it? Do you have this idea? Yi Fala, thank you for your kindness, but you have to let me think about it. Su Yin smiled faintly. It's such a big matter. I can't make a decision right away, right? Yi Fala nodded happily. That's right. It's such a big matter. You really need to think about it. Su Yin, I won't be polite with you. If you think highly of me, even if you don't agree to this matter, we can be friends in the future. You can tell me anything in Xinjiang. Maybe there are many things that you think are impossible to do that I can really help you. Su Yin smiled. Thank you for your kindness. If you have any orders, you can also tell me. Anyway, I have a lot of time. I'm happy to be of service to a beauty. If you have time, can I invite you for a drink? Yi Fala pointed upstairs. You've been to that bar before. The environment is okay, right? Su Yin certainly wouldn't refuse. Of course, I have time to drink with a beauty. Speaking of which, those sky-high prices of red wine really had their capital. If it didn't cost money, Su Yin was willing to drink a few glasses every day. The sweet and soft fragrance, the feeling of slipping down his throat was especially great. When he came to the bar on the 88th floor of Xingkai Hotel again, the waiters here were shocked. Yesterday, this guy who couldn't even bear to order wine was treated to 2 bottles of Lafite for free. Today, the boss Yi Fala personally brought it up, and even opened a bottle of her private red wine for him to taste. It was rare to see such a high-class person in Xingkai Hotel. Su Yin originally wanted to sit by the window, but she was pulled by Yi Fala to a hidden staircase and brought to the private second floor of the bar. There was only one room above, and it was probably reserved for her to receive VIPs. Last night, Suyun thought that the window seat was the best place to overlook the entire Xinjiang Bund. Now it seemed that the independent protruding glass room above was the real best place to watch. Compared to Jibei, how was Xinjiang? Yi Fala naturally brought Suyun up with a purpose. Luxurious. Suyun used this word. Yi Fala pursed her lips and smiled. Really? How luxurious is it? Whether it was economic development or urban construction, Jibei couldn't be compared to Xinjiang. If Xinjiang was Huaxia's, oh no, it should be an international first-class metropolis, then Jibei could only be regarded as a second-tier city in Huaxia. It couldn't even be considered as a first-tier city. Suyun's evaluation was very objective. It was indeed so. Yi Fala was very satisfied with Suyun's answer. Then, do you like Xinjiang more or Jibei more? Suyun almost understood the purpose of Yi Fala bringing him here. He smiled slightly. Each has its own merits. If I have to choose one, it's really hard for me to choose. But I think, Suyun, a talent like you should stay in an international metropolis like Xinjiang. Yi Fala took the right medicine. Just like what you said, Jibei is at most a second-tier city in Huaxia. It's not on the same level as Xinjiang. Suyun nodded meaningfully. Yes, Xinjiang is indeed good. Yi Fala raised her wine glass with satisfaction. This bottle of red wine was priceless. I'm afraid that the value of the wine in Suyun's glass was enough for an ordinary family to buy a good family car. Chase. Chapter 412. Suyun's trip to Xinjiang this time was really worth it. He actually bumped into someone trying to poach him. When Zhuo Meiyan and the others came back at night, Suyun chatted with them about this matter. Only then did Suyun find out that the person who wanted to be friends with him was Xinjiang's famous Black Widow. If he had known earlier, Suyun would have hugged Black Widow's white thighs tightly. That way, even if Darong Electronics was given 100 guts, they wouldn't have dared to cause trouble for him at Xingkai Hotel. Yi Fala actually wants to poach me? Zhuo Meiyan was so angry that she rolled her eyes. You may know a person for a long time, but you never know their true nature. If she had tried to poach Wang Zhe or Wu Yuandong, I would have suspected that they would have been poached by that vixen. She sure is generous. In order to poach you, she actually invited you to the glass room in the lounge and treated you to the most expensive Romani Conti. How generous. Suyun smacked his lips. That wine is really good. When are you going to treat me to a glass? I directly rejected her because of you. Zhuo Meiyan said unhappily. I don't have the time to collect red wine like her. If you want to drink, fine. I'll ask Wang Zhe to get a box of whiskey right now. The two of us can drink from the bottle. I'll drink as much as you drink. I'll definitely accompany you. Although there's no good wine, I'll definitely let you drink to your heart's content. Suyun could tell that she was really jealous. You don't have to be so angry. I didn't agree to her job change. Why am I still following you? Even if she gave me a box of Romani Conti, it's not as good as you treating me to a bottle of the most ordinary Sword Force whiskey. At least you have some conscience. You have to understand that it's not you following me to do things, it's me following you to do things. You're the dignified successor of Sky Entertainment Group. Zhuo Meiyan snorted. I really want to find that Black Widow and argue with her. She even wants to poach the Crown Prince of Sky Entertainment Group. I want to ask her if she ate a bear's heart or a leopard's gall. She doesn't know Suyun's identity either. Hehe, I think we should just forget about it. Fengning spoke indifferently to Zhuo Meiyan. You don't need to eat this kind of vinegar. What I want to know now is why she took a fancy to Suyun. Suyun, what did you do in front of her? Suyun shook his head. He did not admit that he had done anything else in the hotel, nor did he intend to tell them about his conflict with the Nakamura family. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known that she's the Black Widow. I've never seen her before. Fengning frowned. Then why? Perhaps it's because I'm handsome. Suyun justified himself. I admit that you're handsome, but I have some understanding of Yi Fala. She's not that kind of superficial woman. She definitely won't judge a book by its cover. Fengning said. She must have taken a fancy to your inner qualities. Although you're handsome, you're only the icing on the cake. Being handsome is not a decisive factor in Yi Fala's heart. If she wants a handsome man, there are plenty of second and third-tier artists in our company. She wouldn't have set her eyes on you at all. Su Yin pondered over Feng Ying's words for a long time before he finally understood. Feng Ying meant that he was not as handsome as those small artists in the company. Damn, those handsome men, in Su Yin's eyes, were fake girls. What's so handsome about them? They don't even have the masculinity of a man. How can they be called handsome? Forget it, Feng Ying, don't think so much. Yi Fala's thoughts are not that easy to guess. Zhuo Meiyan frowned slightly. I think we should let her think about it blindly. Anyway, Su Yin is someone who can't be poached. There's no point in thinking too much. Plans can't keep up with changes. In life, one should be more open-minded, and more open-minded. Su Yin gave him a thumbs up and said, "There's a saying that's popular now. Both the director and the deputy director are lost in the end. Both the director and the deputy director have the same ending. The director and the deputy director will take a walk together." Zhuo Meiyan looked at Su Yin. "Why do I feel that you're leaving a way out for yourself? What way out can I leave for myself?" Su Yin. "It's not like I'll be poached by Yi Fala, right?" Zhuo Meiyan finally warned Su Yin. "This is Xinjiang. I think you should try to keep a distance from Yi Fala. Do you know why she's called Black Widow? It's because she's vicious enough. Think about it. A woman who can establish herself in such a big city like Xinjiang. How can she be a simple person?" Su Yin couldn't help but laugh. "Do you know what Yi Fala said about you?" she said. "Do you know why she's called Zweiking? It's because she's vicious enough." Ha ha ha, the two of you are really from the same mold. Zhuo Meiyan glared fiercely at Su Yin. "I'm not joking with you. I'm Zweiking. But you know me very well. Whether I'll bite you or not, you know it. But do you know her? Whether she'll bite you or not, can you guarantee it? I know you're doing this for my own good. Don't worry, I'll be careful. I won't let myself be bitten." Su Yin got up and said, "It's getting late. I should go back to sleep. You guys should rest early too. I have some things to do tomorrow, so I won't be with you guys. Anyway, I don't understand what was said during the meeting. When there's time, let Feng Yingjie explain it to me alone." After Su Yin left, he didn't go back to his room. Instead, he took the elevator to the bottom and walked out of Xingkai Hotel. Looking at the sea of people in Xinjiang, Su Yin realized a very serious problem. Even if he searched one hotel after another, it wouldn't be as easy as he thought to find Yumerin. After all, they were very careful when doing things. At this time, Su Yin suddenly thought of what Yi Fala said to him. "You can tell me anything in Xinjiang. Maybe a lot of things that you think you can't do, I can really do it for you." Maybe Yi Fala could really help him. After a fierce struggle, Su Yin finally made up his mind. He took out his phone and dialed a number that Yi Fala left for him. Yi Fala, who was in a high-end tea house on the Bund, picked up her phone. This was her private number. There were less than 10 people who knew this number. Seeing an unknown number, Yi Fala hesitated for a moment, and then picked it up. "Hello, Su Yin? Boss Yi, are you sure it's me?" Su Yin smiled. "I have something to ask Boss Yi for help. I don't know if it's convenient for you. Go to the Tianming Hall of the Hongfu Heavenly Tea House. I'll wait for you here." Yi Fala smiled and looked at the time. "It would be best if you can get there within 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'm afraid you'll have to wait for me for a while." Su Yin's answer was very simple. One word. "Okay." After hanging up the phone, Su Yin asked the security guard. When the security guard on duty saw Su Yin, he immediately recognized this fierce person who punished evil and promoted good at noon. He carefully told Su Yin the location of the tea house. Su Yin thanked him and directly rushed over. The tea house was not far from the Xingkai Hotel. As long as he walked a little faster, 10 minutes was definitely not a problem. Su Yin only took 5 minutes to open the door of the Tianming Hall. Yi Fala was sitting alone in the luxurious tea house. The light in the room was soft and the fragrance of tea overflowed. In front of the tea house, there was a round stone pool. In the pool, 2 koi fish more than 50 centimeters long were chasing and playing. The color was gorgeous and the body was full. At first glance, one could tell that it was a particularly precious breed. After seeing Su Yin, Yi Fala slightly smiled, looked at the time and said, 5 minutes. It seems that you have something very urgent. However, if you have something, you have to wait for a while. I want to see someone. If you want me to help you, then you have to promise me one thing. Accompany me to see this person. This was the second time Su-yin met with Yi-Fala. He simply could not guess what this woman was thinking. However, in order to let her help him find Yu Marin, he was afraid that he could only obediently listen to her. Since Boss Yi has spoken, even if you don't help me, I will accompany you to see this person. I like such a straightforward man like you. Yi-Fala smiled with charming eyes. Looking at her, Su-yun's heart could not help but ripple. This woman was too seductive. It's almost time. Just stand behind me. Remember, no matter what happens later, don't be too excited. Su-yun had doubts in his heart, but he could only follow Yi-Fala's instructions. Don't try to guess a girl's thoughts. Even if you try to guess, you still won't understand. There was actually something wrong with the lyrics. A girl's thoughts were actually very easy to guess. However, the thoughts of a goddess like Yi-Fala were hard to guess. Looking at the two koi fish, Su-yun thought, what kind of fish are these? One must be at least a few thousand, right? If it was a few thousand, he was afraid that he really could not buy it. He estimated that the price of flying this fish was more than a few thousand, right? Yi-Fala crossed her arms and said lightly, these are probably koi fish from Nagasaki, Japan. With my taste in the boss here, the total value of these two fish should be around 100,000 yuan. 100,000 yuan? Su-yin hummed. The person who bought the fish for 100,000 yuan was really generous. 100,000 yuan could probably buy a transvestite, right? Buy fish. Unless it was a mermaid, Su-yin would definitely not buy it. You don't believe it, right? Have you heard of the koi fish Lulan? Yi-Fala smiled. That fish was sold for a sky-high price of 20 million yuan at the Koi Fish Appraisal Conference in Japan. Su-yin could only sigh at this. Rich people really had nothing better to do. He did not know if it was because he heard that the koi fish was worth 20 million yuan. Su-yin suddenly felt that the two fish in front of him that were only worth 100,000 yuan were actually not that awesome. The price was far more than the shock that it brought him at the beginning. There was never a lack of hype experts in the world. They could inflate the price of anything to 100 times higher than the actual price. Those who had the ability to trick the people who bought it felt that they were especially awesome, that they had earned a lot, and that their things were unique in the world. They did not think about it. After all, a fish had a life. What if it died one day? 20 million yuan. Even if you threw it into a mud pit, it could fill up dozens of meters of road. Chapter 413. The old man who walked into the room was about 60 years old. His old face was actually carved from the same mold as Nakamura Shunji. The only difference was that this face was obviously more wrinkled. Su-yin took a deep breath. What the hell? What the hell is Yi-Fala doing? Hello, Mr. Nakamura, long time no see. Yi-Fala smiled slightly, got up and said, since you want to meet me face to face, the place I chose is not bad, right? What do you like to drink? Do you want to drink your Japanese Yulu, or try our Huasia's Tiguanyin? Yi-Fala did not hide the identity of this person at all. Su-yin also roughly guessed this person's identity from the way she addressed this person. Nakamura Kahiko sneered, and ordered the two men behind him to close the door. Then he slowly walked to the chair and sat down. The two men stood behind him, one on the left and one on the right. Nakamura Kahiko did not answer Yi-Fala's question. He went straight to the point. Boss Yi, I did not ask you out to drink tea this time. You know very well why I, Nakamura Kahiko, am looking for you, and you know very well what kind of person I am. Yi-Fala still had a shallow smile on her face. Mr. Nakamura, then you should also know what kind of person I am. You are not new to Xinjiang, so I don't need to say anything more, right? Are you threatening me? Nakamura Kahiko's face suddenly changed. Yi-Fala, I know people call you Black Widow, but I have never been afraid of spiders and cockroaches since I was young. My son got into trouble in your hotel. Since you don't let me investigate, and you can't give me an explanation, whether it's for your feelings or for your reason, you can't justify it, right? Yi-Fala was very calm. Your son brought two women to our hotel to get a room. Now that something like this happened to your son, Mr. Nakamura should be looking for those two women, right? Why would you look for me? I won't do anything to my guests, right? Mr. Nakamura, you should know that your son is a regular customer of our hotel. Even when he went to my bar for a drink, I personally gave him a 5% discount VIP card. Do you think I would do anything to my VIP? Nakamura coldly said something to his men behind him in Japanese. Yi-Fala could not understand, but Su-Yin could. He said, "Bring the two women in." What the hell? Su-Yin broke out in cold sweat when he heard this. That woman knew him. However, the lights in this room were the so-called ambience lights. Furthermore, Su-Yin was standing behind Yi-Fala. Thinking about it, there was no need to worry. After that woman came in, she probably wouldn't have the time to look around. Soon, Nakamura Kahiko's men brought in the two women from yesterday and pushed them in front of Nakamura Kahiko. I don't know anything. I really don't know anything. She was the one who took out the condom. It had nothing to do with me. I just wanted to help Nakamura-kun wear it. I beg you to let me go. I really don't know anything. As soon as Diamond Girl entered the room, she started to explain everything, pushing everything to the point that it had nothing to do with her. The G-Cup girl was the same. Although I was the one who took out the condom, I also know that it was tampered with. Furthermore, I didn't even touch Nakamura-kun. How could I hurt him? It wasn't me, it really wasn't me. I don't know anything. Yi-Fala obviously did not expect Nakamura Kahiko to bring the two women here. She was indeed worried that they would recognize Su-Yin. However, her worry was unnecessary because the two of them kept pushing the blame away. There was no chance for them to observe, so it was impossible for them to find out that Su-Yin was in this room. Did you see her? Nakamura Kahiko pointed at Yi-Fala. She is Boss Yi of Shinkai Hotel. She knows very well whether you did anything or not. Let's see how long you can keep your mouth shut in front of her today. At this point, the G-Cup girl's expression became a little nervous. However, her nervousness quickly disappeared because there were no surveillance cameras in the guest room. Even if the other party was Shinkai's boss, he couldn't possibly frame them without any evidence. Boss Yi, you must testify for me. I swear that I really don't know anything. I beg you, you must save me. Diamond Girl was about to kneel in front of Yi-Fala. Yi-Fala did not even look at the two of them. In her eyes, this kind of woman's fate was not worth pitying, no matter how sad it was. Yi-Fala was such a person. She could respect a woman who made a living by shining shoes on the street, but she would not raise her eyes to look at these high-class prostitutes who were covered in luxurious goods. Explain to Mr. Nakamura what you did. Yi-Fala said coldly. I have already seen the surveillance cameras in the corridor. Other than the two of you and Mr. Nakamura's son who entered the room, there was no third person who went in. If you didn't tamper with it, then it must have been done by a ghost. I, Yi-Fala, swear with my integrity that since the opening of Shinkai Hotel until today, there has never been any haunted incidents. Diamond Girl might not know anything about these words, but the G-Cup girl could not help but feel suspicious. Because last night, the three of them had obviously snuck into the room. If they looked at the surveillance cameras in the corridor, they would definitely be discovered. But this Yi-Fala actually said that he didn't see anything. This was to pour this basin of dirty water on their heads. What a vicious woman. Hatred rose in the G-Cup girl's heart. She wanted to scratch this woman's face, but because of the bodyguard behind her, she did not dare to act rashly. Wait a minute, that bodyguard looks very familiar. The moment the G-Cup girl looked at Su-Yin, she suddenly shouted in panic. Ah dash. Why is it you? It's him. It's him. He was the one who entered our room yesterday. Hearing the G-Cup girl's shout, Su-Yin took a deep breath. If that old dog Nakamura dared to disrespect him, he would definitely let him have a taste of a Huaxia man's fist. Nakamura Kahiko's cold gaze shot towards Su-Yin, and the two men behind him also prepared to attack. As long as Nakamura Kahiko gave the order, the two of them would definitely attack without mercy. No matter what, they had to take down Su-Yin. Humph! Yi-Fala did not even blink when she encountered such a shocking situation. She still said indifferently, You want to push the blame onto me? Girl, you're too young. You can't say things like that. He is my Yifala's personal bodyguard. I know exactly what he does and what he does. You're saying that I arranged for someone to attack Mr. Nakamura's son? That G-cup girl was just a vulgar person. She only knew how to put on makeup, put on powder, and buy branded bags and branded clothes every day. Of course, she was not Yifala's opponent. With just one sentence, she was shut down by Yifala. Nakamura Kahiko's face darkened, and he said to the two men behind him, "Okay, take these two people back. Interrogate them slowly. I don't believe that they won't say anything." Seeing that these two women were about to fall into the devil's hands, Yifala did not have any compassion. Even if Nakamura Kahiko tortured these two women to death, it had nothing to do with her. But just when the two men were about to attack, Yifala suddenly changed her mind. "Wait a minute," Yifala said indifferently, "Mr. Nakamura, you're so unscrupulous in using lynchings. Aren't you afraid that the police will find trouble with you? How would the police know that I use lynchings? Miss Yi, you don't have to worry about that." Nakamura Kahiko sneered. Yifala smiled slightly. "Mr. Nakamura, if I know, doesn't that mean that the police know? I'm such a kind woman. How can I watch you bully the women of my country? Mr. Nakamura, if you don't let these two women go in front of me today, I will tell the police what I saw." Nakamura Kahiko's heart was filled with anger. "Miss Yi, what do you mean? I see that you want to go against me, Nakamura Kahiko." "I didn't do that, Mr. Nakamura. These are two separate matters. Although they wanted to throw dirty water at me, I'm a magnanimous person who doesn't want to be calculative, so I wanted to help them." Yifala said, "Mr. Nakamura, if you don't have evidence, then don't use lynchings. You can ask the police for help." She was sure that Nakamura Kahiko would not ask the police, so she said that. Otherwise, if Nakamura Kahiko really asked the police to come to Shinkai Hotel to collect evidence, then she could only obediently cooperate. At that time, she would not be able to protect Su Yin and the others. "I can let them go, but let me tell you, Miss Yi, I will definitely find out the truth about this matter." Nakamura Kahiko said heavily, then got up and left the tea house with his people. Seeing the Japanese leaving, the Diamond Girl and the G-Cup Girl almost knelt down and kowtowed. "Get lost." Yifala was like a different person. She said coldly, "You better not let me see you in Xinjiang. Even if I help you today, Nakamura Kahiko will still find trouble with you tomorrow. If you don't want to die, then get lost. Otherwise, I won't let you go." The two shuddered, then quickly got up and left the tea house. Su Yin finally had a preliminary understanding of this woman. She was worthy of being able to stand at the top of a big city like Xinjiang. She was smart, scheming, and knew how to be flexible and leave room for herself. This kind of woman was simply not a normal kind of scary. Black Widow, just like her name. "Su Yin, what else do you need me to help you with?" "Hee, I've already helped you once today. I've already expressed my sincerity to you." Yifala smiled slightly. "Don't you want to show me some sincerity?" Su Yin gently raised his eyebrows. "What kind of sincerity do you want? What can I do to show that I'm sincere enough?" Yifala suddenly looked back and smiled. "I'm just joking with you. If I said that I sincerely want to be friends with you, and I even care about helping you with such a small thing, wouldn't it seem that I'm a very stingy person? Such a stingy person will not be able to survive in this society, especially in Xinjiang. Don't you think so?" Chapter 414. Su Yin went back to the hotel and found Zuomeyan waiting for him in the room. "Where did you go?" "I came to Xinjiang for some other things, so I went to deal with them." "Su Yin, it's so late. Why aren't you sleeping? What do you have to do today? Tell me, I'm listening." "But I won't attend the board meeting tomorrow. We'll talk about it after the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza thing is settled. I didn't come here to talk to you about this. You know it." "Zuomeyan, I'll arrange for people to deal with the Film and Television Plaza thing. I'm more worried about you, Su Yin. I warned you not to get involved with Yifala. Why did you go see her today?" Su Yin smiled. "So it was you who arranged for Wang Zhe to follow me? Haha, I thought he was worried about my safety. Looks like I was thinking too much. He's not my brother. After all, he's Mr. Zhu's man. Su Yin was a bit unhappy. He trusted Zhuo Meiyan and Wang Zhe, so he felt disgusted when they followed him. Although Su Yin didn't think he did anything shady, he still didn't like the feeling of being followed. And the one who wanted to follow him was Zhuo Meiyan. What do you want to know? If you ask me, do you think I won't tell you? Su Yin. If I don't tell you, then I have my reasons. Everyone has their own life. You have it, and I have it too. I don't want anyone to interfere with my personal life. Do you understand? Do you think I'm interfering? Zhuo Meiyan stared at Su Yin in shock. Su Yin, yes, you have your own life. I don't want to interfere. But what about me? What about my life? Is my life supposed to revolve around you? Does my life have to support you when you don't want to take over Sky Entertainment Group? You're too selfish. Su Yin was inexplicably angry. Zhang Taisui taught you all his skills. So what if you do something for him? Was it that difficult? Isn't it just taking over Sky Entertainment Group? It's not like I'm asking you to do anything illegal. Was it necessary? Was there a need to be so difficult? All right, if you don't want to take it anymore, then leave. When Zhuo Meiyan saw that Su Yin was being so unreasonable, she immediately stood up and left Su Yin's room with large strides. If the two of them continued to quarrel at this time, it would be meaningless and would not benefit either of them. However, when Zhuo Meiyan reached the door, she still stopped in her tracks. She suddenly turned around and said, Su Yin, I'm warning you again. Yi Fala is different from me. Other people can say that I'm a white-lipped bamboo snake that will bite people at any time, but you can't. Everything I did was for your own good. I didn't let you get close to Yi Fala, because Yi Fala is not on the same side as us. Do you know what Shengguan Yudi does? Su Yin realized that he was a little emotional just now and tried to calm himself down. I don't care who Shengguan Yudi is. I hope you can rest assured that I'm not a child who needs to be taken care of. Meiyan, I'm an adult. I have my own judgment and ability to judge people. I don't need you to teach me how to survive in this society. I don't need you to teach me who to interact with, and who not to interact with. Shengguan Yudi is the biggest drug lord in the southeast coast of Huaxia. I hope you understand that Yi Fala was brought into this world by him. You're right. You're an adult. You have your own judgment. Then do whatever you want. I won't interfere with your business. Zhuo Meiyan left these words with a heavy heart, and turned around to leave. Su Yin scratched his head angrily. He didn't want to cooperate with a woman that he couldn't understand at all. But if he didn't ask her for help, how could he find Yu Marin? He had something very important to tell Yu Marin. Who could understand this? Who could understand the anxiety in his heart? If Guogua's shocking secret was true, it could explode the whole underground world at any time. Wang Zhe walked into Su Yin's room. Brother Yin, it's all my fault. I'm sorry. It's none of your business. Su Yin didn't even look back at him. He waved his hand and asked him to leave. I want to rest. Close the door for me when you leave. Wang Zhe, who felt guilty, could only close the door for Su Yin gently, and then retreated carefully. If he had known, he wouldn't have told so much about what he saw. He didn't know that Zhuo Meiyan would be so angry that Su Yin went to see Yi Fala. Actually, this wasn't something unacceptable, right? Zhuo Meiyan was really angry. During breakfast, she didn't say a word to Su Yin. Feng Ying and Ling Jiling both saw the problem, but because of Zhuo Meiyan's face, they didn't point it out. Everyone had their own work to do. Ling Jiling also prepared to do her own things. Therefore, after breakfast, Su Yin was the only one left standing by the window, bored to death, looking out of the window. Just as Su Yin was waiting for news out of boredom, he actually saw a few familiar faces getting out of a few parked cars. Qin Wan, the police chief, Chen Wei, and 5 or 6 other people walked into Xingkai Hotel together. Qin Wan actually came to Xinjiang on a business trip? Su Yin was really excited. After all, he met someone familiar. How could Su Yin not be excited? He quickly tidied up his clothes and ran downstairs, ready to give Qin Wan a surprise. At this time, Yi Fala suddenly called. Compared to giving Qin Wan a surprise, Su Yin seemed to want to know if there was any news from Yi Fala. Boss Yi, is there news so soon? You can come to my office first. Yi Fala smiled slightly. I'll tell you when you come. Suyin hung up the phone and went directly to Yi Fala's office. Looking for Qin Wan wasn't an urgent matter, so there was no need to rush. However, the news from Yi Fala was something that Suyin urgently wanted to know. When Suyin knocked on Yi Fala's door and walked in, Yi Fala was talking with her subordinate, Assistant Wang. After seeing Suyin, she said directly, "You're really slow. Sit. What do you want to drink?" "Whatever." "Suyin." Yi Fala smiled slightly. "The thing you asked me to find out." Suyin couldn't help but look at Assistant Wang. "It's okay, he's one of us." Yi Fala smiled slightly. She was afraid that Suyin wouldn't believe her, so she explained. "Actually, he was an undercover police officer when he first came to my side. However, after a long time, he became my undercover police officer." This world is like this. Money makes the world go round." Suyin smiled but didn't say anything. He wasn't interested in these. "So Bossy has already helped me find the person I'm looking for?" Yi Fala shrugged. "Listening to what you said, you're saying that I can definitely find him?" "Hehe, Suyin, maybe you think too little of Xinjiang. Xinjiang isn't as small as you think. There are 25 million people here. It's the most populous metropolis in the whole Huaxia. It's really not easy to find a person in a sea of people. And you didn't say it in detail. Sigh, it's too difficult for me. I'm sorry, Bossy. I've troubled you. If it's really that inconvenient, then forget about it." Suyin. "It's troublesome, but I've already promised you. I'll definitely help you think of a way." Yi Fala smiled. "I asked you to come over, because I also want to ask you to do something for me." Suyin was slightly startled. He had a bad premonition. Yesterday, Zuamayan repeatedly emphasized to Suyin what kind of person Yi Fala was. Today Yi Fala made such a request. Suyin was in a dilemma. After all, Yi Fala didn't say anything when she helped him. If he were to refuse now, he would feel bad. Yi Fala caught the hesitation in Suyin's expression. "It's just accompanying me to a dinner party tonight. It's not a big deal. Hehe, if you have other things to do, I don't mind." What else could Suyin do when the other party had already put it this way? "Okay, Bossy." Suyin agreed. "You think so highly of me and have helped me so much. If I don't give you this face, how can I continue to stay in Xinkai? Let alone a dinner party, even if it's 10, I won't say a word." Yi Fala's face showed a faint smile. "So you agree?" "Suyin, I know you're a straightforward person. Don't worry, I'll do my best to find the person you want me to help you. I've already contacted the bosses of the hotels in Xinjiang. Just wait for the good news." Suyin cupped his fists. "Then I'll thank Bossy first. Bossy, if there's nothing else, I'll take my leave. You can contact me at any time about the dinner party tonight. I'll definitely accompany you. If there's anything, you can go do it first." Yi Fala smiled faintly. After watching Suyin leave, she talked to Assistant Wang again. After Suyin walked out of Yi Fala's room, he immediately dialed Qin Wan's phone. Qin Wan was surprised to receive a call from Suyin. "Suyin. Which room are you in?" "I'm staying in Xinkai Hotel. I'll go find you now." Suyin smiled. Qin Wan was stunned for a moment. It took her a while to realize that she was also staying in Xinkai Hotel. "You're also in Xinkai?" "No way. You saw me? Where are you?" "I'll go find you right away. What's your room number?" Suyin grinned. Qin Wan immediately told Suyin the room number. Suyin didn't stop and directly rushed to Qin Wan's room. At this moment, he was in a good mood. However, if he knew why Qin Wan was here, it would be difficult for him to smile. It was a coincidence. Fortunately, Suyin had just gone to Yi Fala's office. Otherwise, Qin Wan and the others would have fallen into a huge trap. As for how dangerous this trap was, Suyin couldn't guarantee that they wouldn't all die because of it. Chapter 415. Suyin walked into the room with a smile. He could see that, except for Qin Wan, the others were more vigilant. "Are you on a business trip? Staying in such a luxurious hotel on a business trip? Isn't it a bit excessive? If the taxpayers know about this, they will definitely feel uncomfortable." Chen Wanner rolled her eyes at Su Yin. She knew that he would say something sarcastic. Come with me to the back room. Director Chen wants to see you. I'm here for you. Why would I want to see him? Su Yin was stunned. He did not want to have anything to do with the police. Once he did, nothing good would come out of it. If you guys are busy, go ahead. I'll go back first. If there's anything, let's talk about it later. Wait a minute. Chen Wanner stared at Su Yin. Where do you think this is? You can come and go as you please. Come with me. It's not like Chief Chen will eat you up. Why are you running away? You look like you have a guilty conscience. We're not here to cause trouble for you. Su Yin had no choice. Once he stepped into Chen Wanner's police station, he couldn't get out even if he wanted to. I'll see him, okay? But let me say this first. Don't expect me to help the police. I have so many things to deal with. I don't have the time. Don't worry. We are well prepared this time. Chen Wanner took Su Yin to the back room of the suite. Chen Wei was sitting at the table, reading something. Director Chen, Su Yin is here. Chen Wei put down the document in his hand and hurriedly got up. Striding forward, he shook hands with Su Yin and said, It's an honor to meet you at last. Su Laodi's great name reverberates like thunder in my ears. Wanner has told me a lot of things about you. I also know that you have helped her deal with a lot of troubles. At that time, I knew that with Wanner's ability to do so many big things, there must be a master guiding her behind the scenes. Facing these polite words, Su Yin could still handle it easily. Director Chen, you must be joking. I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not as mysterious as you think. You see, you are quite busy. I won't bother you. Ha! We're not busy. Chen Wanner pressed Su Yin down again. Su Yin, don't be ignorant. Director Chen let you in because he trusts you. He knows that you have helped me so much and would not betray the safety of the people. That's why he agreed to let you in. Do you think we're joking? You can come in and go out as you please. Su Yin hastily said, Please don't talk about your business. This is confidential police work. It's not appropriate for me to know. Ha ha ha, brother Su, it doesn't matter if you know. Ever since I found out that you helped Wanner so much, I knew that you were one of us. Chen Wei continued. The fact that Hudong City has such a harmonious social order today has something to do with you. You are the hero of Hudong City. Don't, I really don't deserve any credit. Su Yin. Director Chen, if there's anything going on in Hudong, I can help. But since you're out to do something big, I definitely won't dare to interfere. I think I should go back first. Chen Wanner is not sensible, so she agreed to let me come. If I had known, I wouldn't have come. Chen Wei directly said. This matter really has something to do with Hudong City. There has been a group of drug dealers in Hudong City for a long time. Brother Su, you might not know this, but it does exist. This problem is very serious and endangers the vital interests of the people of Hudong City. We have been investigating, and we found that the mastermind is in Xinjiang. Su Yin really wanted to cover his ears and not listen. Once he did, he would be in the same boat as this group of police officers. When the time comes, if you don't help, it means that you are not cooperating. That would be a mistake. F***ck, this Chen Wei was really vicious. He didn't even give Su Yin a chance to refuse. In one breath, he said everything that should be said and shouldn't be said. Su Yin wondered why he had the courage to trust an outsider like him. The person in control of the situation is the boss of Xingkai Hotel, Yi Fala. We have arranged a spy by her side, and have been following this matter for a long time. Now that this matter finally has a chance to be solved, we came to Xinjiang and stayed in this hotel. Chen Wei finally finished what he wanted to say. Su Yin's eyes widened. How the F***ck is this related to Yi Fala again? Arranged a spy. When Su Yin heard this, his whole body was covered in cold sweat. Assistant Wang's face suddenly appeared in his mind. Then Yi Fala's words circled in Su Yin's mind. In fact, he was an undercover police officer when he first came to my side. But after a long time, he became my undercover police officer. Hehe. This is how the world works. Money makes the world go round. Money makes the world go round. Su Yin believed this 100%. Su Yin, who was originally resistant to this matter, suddenly went forward and grabbed Chen Wei's collar. He was a little emotional. Show me the photo of the spy. Won-er, show it to him. Not only did Chen Wei not get angry because of Su Yun's rude behavior, but he also felt that something was wrong. Qin Won-er urged Su Yun to put down his hand and took out the photo of the spy. This is confidential. Other than us, no one else knows about it. Director Chen even showed this to you because he trusts me. You must keep it a secret. Su Yun snatched the photo of the spy. His face suddenly changed. Assistant Wang. Qin Won-er was about to speak, but she was stopped by Chen Wei. Chen Wei asked tentatively, Brother Su, do you know him? I just saw him in Yi Fala's office today. Su Yun stared. Does he know that you are already in the hotel? Does he know that you are already staying here? And does he know? Chen Wei shook his head. No, we haven't had time to contact him. Contact my ass. Su Yun was not courteous with his words. Those who knew Su Yun could empathize with him because he hated traitors the most. Even though Chen Wei was not that kind of person, he was still angry. You've turned your own people into ghosts. As a director, you don't even know? Chen Wei's expression was very serious. Brother Su, what do you mean? I can say very responsibly that little Wang is someone I trust very much. He has been undercover since he graduated from the police academy. I have arranged for him to be in this line for 2 years. He has provided a lot of useful information. So what? What is the use of useful information? Do you have evidence? Did he provide any evidence? Su Yun sneered. Did he say that there was no chance to collect evidence? Chen Wei, let me tell you, you are too careless as a director. Your people have betrayed you. He is now a ghost that Yi Fala placed in your internal department. Maybe that Yefla already knows that you guys are here. Qin Wan'er pushed Su Yun away. What are you doing here? Director Chen did not ask you to do anything. What nonsense are you talking about? Chen Wei interrupted Qin Wan'er and said, let him speak. Let him finish. What else can I say? I want you to leave Xingkai Hotel immediately. Once that ghost knows that you are here, he will immediately inform Yi Fala. At that time, none of you will be able to leave. Su Yun was angry. Don't you know what Yi Fala is called by the people in the underground world? Chen Wei, are you joking with the lives of so many people? Chen Wei took a deep breath. If little Wang was really a ghost, they would be in great danger. However, he did not consider this point because he did not believe that little Wang would betray them. Su Yun, can you give me a reason to believe you? You want a reason? Fine, don't you trust me? Yes, you chose to trust me. There is nothing wrong with that. If it was just you guys, I would not care about you. But Qin Wan'er is also here. I cannot let her be in danger. Otherwise, I will be sorry for myself. I will be sorry for Uncle Qin. I will be sorry for my family in Hudong City. Su Yun, I will give you a reason. It is because I just met with Yi Fala and your spy. Yi Fala personally told me that the spy you arranged to be by her side has become a ghost she arranged to be by your side. Do you think she needs to lie to me? His words scared everyone. Qin Wan'er didn't dare to speak again. Like everyone else, she looked at Chen Wei as if she was waiting for him to make a decision. Chen Wei looked into Su Yun's eyes. Su Yun did not avoid it. Chen Wei, let me tell you. You cannot believe me. You can continue to stay here, but I want to leave with Qin Wan'er immediately. What you want to do is your business. I can only say and do this much. I believe you. Chen Wei finally made his decision. Everyone, pack your things. We will leave immediately. Su Yun was terrified. If he hadn't seen Qin Wan'er by the window, if he hadn't gone to Yi Fala's office and heard Yi Fala's words, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Thinking of this, Su Yun's back was covered in cold sweat. Chief Chen, although your spy has become a ghost, I suggest you do not expose her. This is Xinjiang. Yi Fala does not even need to spit out your bones after eating you. Su Yun, I hope you guys can go back immediately. Everything can be discussed in the long run. Qin Wan'er stared. How is that possible? This is a very good opportunity. We cannot go back. Listen to me. Su Yun shouted at Qin Wan'er. You can't do anything if you stay here. You might even die here. Your spy has become a ghost. Do you think there is any meaning to the information you got? A very good opportunity? It is a good opportunity for Yi Fala to get rid of you. It is not a good opportunity for you to get rid of her. Do you understand? Chun Wei signaled Qin Wan to stop arguing. Now we will listen to Su Yun. We will move out first. As for the rest, we will discuss in the long run. I know you guys won't leave easily. Su Yun said bluntly. You guys have your own principles. Listen to my advice. If you guys don't want to leave, then find a small and remote place to stay. If it is one of the hotels in Xinjiang City, no matter which one you stay in, Yi Fala will be able to find you. You have to listen to me. Chapter 416. After nervously packing up, Qin Wan and the others quickly left Xinkai Hotel. Su Yin parted ways with them and promised to inform him as soon as they found a suitable place. People who were not in this kind of situation often couldn't understand why Su Yin had such a big reaction. Su Yin had been betrayed by the higher-ups of the police during a major mission, which led to the death of his own brothers, so it wasn't hard to understand why he had such a big reaction. Qin Wan was a young police officer who hadn't experienced too many major cases and hadn't experienced any storms. She didn't know how terrible a real storm could be, so she couldn't understand Su Yun's reaction. She kept nagging along the way, blaming Su Yun for making her lose face. She had said a lot of good things about him in front of Chief Chun and her colleagues, but she didn't expect him to be so timid. Soon, Chun Wei confirmed that they were staying in a small, remote hotel in the eastern suburbs. In order not to attract attention, they also parked their cars in front of a nearby supermarket or clinic. After everything was settled, Chun Wei asked Qin Wan to contact Su Yun. Chun Wei wanted to know more, but obviously, Su Yun had said too simply. Su Yun rushed over as soon as he received the call. He knew very well that the moment he stepped into the room they had booked at Xinkai, he would never be able to get away from this matter unless this matter was resolved. Qin Wan really tricked him. Well, it couldn't be said like that. After all, he was the one who took the initiative to contact her. After getting out of the taxi and paying, Su Yun quickly went into the small hotel. Because this kind of small hotel didn't have many people during the day, it was mostly people who stayed at night. In order to prevent accidents, they booked 8 rooms, at least to prevent the walls from having ears. As soon as Su Yun entered the room, everyone surrounded him. Qin Wan was the one who couldn't sit still. Su Yun, you have to make it clear to us. What do you mean? You said that our people have become ghosts. Do you believe that? You have to know that he is a spy. He wants to find a way to gain Yi Fala's trust. Maybe this is his own method. Method? Do I have to tell the other party that I'm a spy and ask them not to kill me, and I'll help them to gain their trust? Su Yun sneered. Qin Wan, aren't you too naive? Do you think Yefala is as naive as you? Let me tell you, things will definitely go the way you least want. You've been sold. I can guarantee that Yi Fala knows exactly what all of you are going to do in Xinjiang this time. Luckily, you didn't call your spy before you moved into Starkai. If you did, you wouldn't even have the chance to stand here and talk to me. Because when you came to Xinkai, your spy was by Yi Fala's side. Chun Wei suddenly took out the pistol that was issued for this operation. With a click, he loaded the gun. Brother Su, we are the police. I hope you can understand me. I want to know, are you close to Yi Fala? Why would Yi Fala dare to tell you that she has a spy by her side? Su Yun saw the other party take out the gun. No matter who he was fully alert. If the other party wanted to threaten his life, he would not be lenient. You can interrogate Yi Fala after you catch her. You have no right to interrogate me. Chief Chun, you better be polite to me. I can save you. And I can also sell you. I don't owe you anything, and I don't want you to owe me anything. I'm only helping you because I won't watch Qin Wan do stupid things in front of me. Put your gun away. I can't talk to you calmly like this. Chun Wei realized that Su Yun was not an ordinary person. Not only would his actions not be effective, but it would also cause new unhappiness. Thus, he removed the magazine without hesitation and put the gun away. Brother Su, I hope you don't misunderstand. I just hope you can cooperate with the police. I'm not interested and I don't have the time. Su Yin denied it. Don't think that I have an obligation to cooperate with the police. I admit that I have an obligation to cooperate with you, but I have no obligation to joke with my life. You want to catch Yifala? Chief Chen, you're not at Qin Waner's age. Where did you get this impulse from? Even if you want to do it, you should at least inform the Shenzhen police. Let them cooperate? Just a few of you? You want to catch the Black Widow in Xinjiang? Are you kidding? How do you want me to cooperate with you? Cooperate with you to die? Chen Wei was very calm. Brother Su Yun, I know you're a little agitated now, but you have to admit that this is our duty. We're not wrong to do this. It's not that I didn't think of getting the cooperation of the Xinjiang police, but the people I arranged around Yifala told me that Yifala's people are in the Xinjiang police, so I can't. I'm telling you now. The people you arranged to be around Yifala have become the people Yifala arranged to be around you. Su Yin. Even the police don't trust the police? Your colleagues. If you don't trust the cooperation of the Xinjiang police, then why do you trust my cooperation? I'm someone who just came from Yifala's side. I'm not afraid to tell you a joke. Yifala thinks highly of me now. She wants me to help her. I'm not being narcissistic, but I'm sure that she likes me. Whether it's because of my ability or because of my good looks, she likes me. Qin Waner's eyes widened. Are you kidding me? Su Yin turned around and glared at Qin Waner. What are you doing here? You're not a drug enforcement officer. Leave with me immediately. I'll buy a ticket to send you back. I won't allow you to participate in this matter. If you don't listen to me, I'll call your dad immediately. Qin Waner did not react. It's useless even if you tell anyone. Su Yin, this is my job. Even my dad supports me. What right do you have to tell me what to do? Who are you to me? You. Su Yin was really afraid that he would have a heart attack. Qin Waner, you're really something. Even if you want to die, I won't care about you. Is this okay? Chen Wei took out a cigarette and handed it to Su Yin. Su Yin did not refuse and directly took it. Moreover, he reached out and grabbed the lighter to light it. He was upset now. He was afraid that something would happen. Taking advantage of Su Yun's silence, Chen Wei said, Brother Su, since you know more than us, why can't you cooperate with us? You know who's the ghost. Yifala likes you. I also admire your skills and ability. Brother Su, I really hope that you can help us. Help you? Director Chen, don't joke with me. I can't hide in time. Su Yin really regretted smoking the cigarette. Director Chen, if you think that I'm short after smoking your mouth and taking your hand, I'll go out and buy you a pack right now. No, buy a pack. What brand do you want? This Yushi is 200 yuan, right? I'll buy you a Zhonghua soft pack. Is that okay? As long as you don't joke with me. I'm not joking. Chen Wei's expression was very serious. The increasing demand for drugs in Hudong is definitely related to this Yifala. I have to stop it, and I have to stop it from the source. Because I know that there are many small cities like Hudong. Their upper reaches are all here. Su Yin asked back. If you want to stop it, then go. Why are you looking for me? I'm not the police. No one pays me a salary. Qin Waner grabbed Su Yun's collar. Su Yun, do you know that there are many people in Hudong who are trapped in this road of no return? Taking drugs will ruin their lives. Their families will be destroyed. That's what they asked for. Su Yin said angrily. There's a path to heaven, but they don't choose it. They just have to jump into the 18 levels of hell. Why should I stop them? Why should I? Even Chong touched this thing, do you know? Qin Waner suddenly shook Su Yin. Let me ask you, do you know? Su Yun's brain buzzed. After a while he reacted. What did you just say? I said that Chong touched this thing. Qin Waner's voice trembled. You keep saying that he's your brother. Your brother touched this thing, and you don't care? Chong is your little brother. He touched this thing. You're the boss and you don't care? A nameless anger rushed into Su Yun's heart. A few words were squeezed out from between Su Yun's teeth. I'll kill that bastard. Qin Waner grabbed Su Yun, who was a little out of control. Stop right there. You can't change anything if you go back now. He just touched it. If Hudong City can stop this thing, he can still quit easily. If Qin Waner didn't pull him back, Suyin really dared to go back to Hudong City and break Chang's legs. He dared to touch that thing. This was something that Suyin would never forgive. Is there anything else that I don't know? Suyin coldly said. Tell me. Who else touched it? Other than Chang, who else touched it? I don't know about the others. I accidentally found out about Chang's matter. It was the day you left Hudong City again. I suddenly felt that something was wrong with him. Later I found out that he secretly went downstairs and took some suspicious powdery things from the car. Qin Weiner lightly said. I didn't expose him. I wanted to wait for you to come back and then tell you, so that you can deal with his matter. I didn't expect to meet you here, so I might as well tell you. Suyin took a deep breath. His jaw was trembling. He really didn't expect that Chang would do such a disappointing thing. Chinju, what do you want me to do? How do I do it? Su Laudi, I know that your mood is very complicated right now, but I also hope that you can stay calm. Chinwei said. When you hear this news, it's the same as when you told me that the spy I arranged has become a spy in the police. Although it's hard to accept, it's the truth. Because the person who told you this matter did it for your own good. There's no reason to lie to you. Suyin nodded. Chinju, you don't need to comfort me. I'm not an immature child. I want to know, now that your people have become spies, how are you going to deal with Yi Fala's matter? I think you can help us. Chinwei said bluntly. I can hear that Yi Fala admires you, so I hope that Su Laudi can agree to help me. I'm going to be your spy? Suyin was slightly startled. He suddenly raised his head and looked directly into Chinwei's eyes. He got a silent agreement. Chinwei meant this because he believed in Suyin, so he knew that at this time, only Suyin could take over their work. Chapter 417. Suyin could not remember how he left the small hotel. He ate instant noodles and frozen dumplings with them for lunch. After that, he listened to Chinwei's plan, and the reason why they chose to come to Xinjiang at this time to prepare for their mission. It was because this was a good opportunity to catch them red-handed. To catch this kind of person, one had to be caught red-handed. If no one was caught red-handed, these people could easily find someone to take the blame and settle everything. Therefore, to do this, one had to be caught red-handed. This was the only way to guarantee that one would be caught red-handed. Otherwise, everything would be empty talk. Suyin didn't know why he agreed. Just a second before he met them, Suyin was still thinking about how to get rid of Yi Fala. Now he had to start thinking of ways to get close to her. At the same time, he had to face a traitor within the police force. For Suyin, this was not an easy challenge. Just as he returned to the hotel and sat down, Suyin received a message from Yi Fala. It was a very simple line of words. I'll wait for you in the office. See you there. Suyin took a deep breath. He knew that he couldn't explain the matter between him and Yi Fala clearly in front of Zuomeyan. Since she misunderstood, then so be it. Maybe this misunderstanding could be an advantage to gain Yi Fala's trust. After putting down his phone, Suyin quickly took a hot shower and changed into a set of clean clothes. This was a casual suit that Chinwei sent someone to buy for him. This was because people in their line of work knew that the police had a special smell. He was worried that Suyin would have that smell when he came out of the police's nest. Maybe Yi Fala would be able to smell it. Although these were all psychological things, it was better to be careful when it came to many things. After changing into a new set of clothes, Suyin walked out of the room to see Yi Fala. As expected, Yi Fala had been waiting for Suyin in the office. Seeing Suyin's refreshing appearance, her eyes lit up. Wow, stunning. Suyin smiled. I should be the one saying that to you. Boss Yi, you're the one who's truly stunning. Since you're here, let's go. Yi Fala directly stood up and walked to Suyin's side. She generously held onto Suyin's arm and said, If Chief Swa sees you with me, do you think she will be unhappy? Suyin smiled awkwardly and said, I don't know, but I think we should try not to meet her. However, when they arrived at the hall, it was as if the heavens had arranged it. Zuomeyan and Fengying walked towards Suyin and Yi Fala. The two of them had gone out to do something and coincidentally bumped into each other. Suyin wasn't mentally prepared. Zuomeyan had just warned him not to touch Yi Fala, but now Yi Fala was holding his arm. making it impossible for him to dodge. Zuomeyan slowed down. Fengming didn't know if she was afraid of being embarrassed, but she wanted to pretend that she didn't see it. Fengming knew that Zuomeyan was very shy sometimes, so she didn't say anything and just followed behind her quietly. However, Yifala didn't think so. She straightforwardly greeted her and said, "Chief Zhuo, long time no see." Zuomeyan's chest obviously rose and fell, but her expression when she raised her head was still filled with absolute confidence. "Chief Yi, you're so busy, how would you have time to see me?" "Why? What are you going out for?" "Hee, I have a meal with a few business partners. Are you interested, Chief Zhuo? Let's go together." Yifala warmly invited her, and it wasn't a kind of shushing at all. Of course, Zuomeyan tactfully declined. "I can't get involved in Chief Ye's business matters." "Hee, how would I have the nerve to disturb you?" "Chief Ye, since you're busy, I won't disturb your time. Let's talk when you have time." Yifala also smiled slightly. "All right, since that's the case, let's talk when we have time." During the entire conversation, Su Yun wasn't involved. Su Yun stood awkwardly in front of Zuomeyan, but he didn't know how to explain. He could only let the two of them ask about his well-being. Hearing the end of the conversation, Su Yun's heart finally dropped a big stone. Just as Zuomeyan was about to turn and leave, Yifala spoke again. "Oh, right, Chief Zhuo, I want to borrow someone from you. You won't mind, right?" This time, the spearhead was directly pointed at Su Yun. Zuomeyan suppressed the anger in her heart and said softly, I don't mind at all. If Chief Yi still needs people to join the party, I have people under me. I just need to make a call, and they can all go with you." Chief Zhuo, you're really generous. But among your people, I've taken a fancy to this one." Yifala's smile was as bright as it could be. "Thank you, Chief Zhuo." "You're welcome." Zuomeyan didn't want to talk for even a minute, and directly walked away. Su Yun really hurt her this time. If he still had a conscience, then he would immediately leave Yifala's side, return to her side, and tell Yifala that he didn't want to serve her anymore. However, things didn't go as planned. Not only did Su Yun not return to her side, but he also followed Yifala further away. Zuomeyan couldn't help but let out a long breath of anger when she reached the elevator. Seeing this, Fengming couldn't help but say, "Meiyan, don't think so much. Don't you know what kind of person Su Yun is? He's definitely not the kind of person who would be charmed by Yifala. You can rest assured about this." "How can I rest assured? He's obviously trying to piss me off. I just told him yesterday that he must stay away from Yifala. Today he almost became Yifala's man," Zuomeyan said emotionally. "What should I do? I've already told him everything. Not only did he not listen, he even got worse." Fengming patted Zuomeyan's shoulder. "Okay, he's angry with you, but that also means that he didn't really go to Yifala's side. He's not Wang Zhe or Wu Yuandong. He's the crown prince of Sky Entertainment Group. He won't give up being the boss and become Yifala's bodyguard. You can rest assured about this." Zuomeyan rolled her eyes and snorted. Who knows what kind of sorcery Yifala cast on him? That seductress has too many tricks. I'm really worried that Su Yun won't be able to resist the temptation. After all, he's also a man. Yifala. Humph, don't let me get my hands on you. He won't. I believe in Su Yun's self-control. Fengming once again reassured Zuomeyan. If he's that kind of person, I'm afraid you won't fall in love with him. Since that's the case, you should trust him. Trust that he won't do anything out of line. After Yifala walked out of the lobby with Su Yun's arm, a Maserati immediately drove to the entrance. The security guard at the entrance quickly opened the door. Yifala motioned for Su Yun to sit in the back with her. Just as the two got in the car, Yifala's assistant, Little Wang, quickly ran out and got into the front passenger seat. The driver slowly drove away, heading directly to a destination that Su Yun didn't know about. Su Yun's mood was very complicated. Because there was a police ghost sitting diagonally in front of him, Su Yun constantly had the urge to kill him. If it wasn't for his inner demon that day, Su Yun probably wouldn't have been able to control himself. How's the situation going? Yifala asked. Assistant Wang was startled. He looked back at Yifala, and then looked at Su Yun. For a moment he didn't know what to say. He already knows who you are. Do you still treat him as an outsider? Yifala smiled slightly. Just say it directly. Su-yin will also be eating with me in a while. There's no need to hide anything from him. Yifala indeed played a good hand. In order to buy Su-yun's heart, she helped him at the beginning. Now she was very thorough and let him know about her without holding back. Through this method, she let Su-yun know how much she trusted him. Director Yi, those people haven't arrived yet. Assistant Wang said. They said that there were some problems on the way. The car broke down on the road. Yifala frowned. The car broke down? What a coincidence. Could it be that you revealed something and the other party became suspicious? Impossible. I've always been very careful. Moreover, Director Chen also trusts me a lot. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let me come all the way to Xinjiang to spy by your side. Assistant Wang said firmly. I think they might really have an accident. Director Yi, don't worry. Director Chen is a very persistent person. Once he decides on something, he will definitely do it to the end. He will definitely come. Yifala said coldly. I don't care whether he will come or not. What I care about is whether he will disturb me. If he comes, once he checks into the hotel, immediately arrange for people to catch all of them. Don't leave a single one behind. Assistant Wang nodded seriously and said, yes. Su-yin sucked in a breath of cold air. Fortunately, he discovered it early. Otherwise, Qinwan, and the others would be in danger now. Qinwan, personally sewed a small listening device under the button of Su-yun's new suit. Therefore, everything that Su-yin heard now could be heard by Chen Wei and the others who were far away in the small hotel in the eastern suburbs. They heard it very clearly. Now whether Assistant Wang was a spy or not, there was no need for Su-yin to explain. The truth was revealed in an instant. Su-yin knew that Qinwan must have done something to the clothes. So he wore the clothes to let them know that he didn't make up the story about the mole. Their situation was really very dangerous. Su-yin hoped that they would be afraid, and that they could go back. Don't you want to ask me what I am talking about? Yifala saw that Su-yin did not say anything, so he asked with a smile. Su-yin shook his head. There are some things that you won't tell me even if I want to know. If you want to tell me, even if I don't ask, you will still tell me. I don't have any good points. My biggest advantage is that I know how to be a person. I don't listen to what I shouldn't listen to, ask what I shouldn't ask, and say what I shouldn't say. Yifala gave him a thumbs up. Su-yin, do you know why I admire you so much? It's because of this that I'm really infatuated with you. You're the most charming man I've ever seen. Really, I'm definitely not lying to you. Qinwan on the other side of the listening device couldn't help but make a vomiting expression. So disgusting. Ugh. So disgusting. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.